Hey there, all you cool, epic, and awesome fans, followers, and listeners. Welcome to episode 57 of the Cool, Epic, Awesome podcast. My name is Matt, and I'll be your co host today.
And I'm your other co-host, Joe.
And on episode 57 today, we're excited to bring you discussion on 3 films, one of which being Speak No Evil, which is a Blumhouse horror that we just saw in theaters recently. Then we have The Substance, another horror film, which we weren't originally going to talk about, but we kind of loved it so much.
Yeah, we had to talk about it.
That we kicked Transformers 1 to the curb.
Sorry, Optimus.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know if you're still gonna see that, Joe, but probably.
Yeah, I'll still see it.
Yeah, I will at
I
some
love
point.
animation.
But yeah, and then last episode I recommended us to watch the Spike Jonze directed Her, starring Joaquin Phoenix, which is one of my favorite films ever, and I'm excited to talk about that. So yeah, we also have some movie news, and our top 10 this week that Joe recommended for us was our top 10 foreign films. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But I guess to start things off today, we can discuss the film Speak No Evil. So let me pull up the little synopsis here. Dude, I'm such an idiot.
Yeah.
We do this every week, and I never have the fucking synopsis ready.
We should just pull it up in front of us.
All right, here we go. When an American family is invited to spend the weekend at the idyllic country estate of a charming British family they befriended on vacation, what begins as a dream holiday soon warps into a snarled psychological nightmare. So, I'm sure if you are into film at all and go to the theater, you've probably seen the trailer for this about 200 times.
Yeah. I was convinced they were going to play it before the movie.
It was kind of becoming a meme online, like how many times they played this trailer. But honestly, just because of that and like my general idea of the film, it looked like kind of basic and people were just shitting on the trailer. I actually was tired of watching the trailer. So I was like,
I was like kind of dreading watching this.
Yeah, but I actually really liked it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I know it wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. I think you're a little higher on it than I am.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the whole time I was watching it, I felt like very tense. I think that they did a really great job of nailing like that aspect of the tension. Just, I don't know. Because the thing is, and this could be seen as like a detriment to the film, is that going in, you know what's going to happen. You know that this family is going to turn on them. So since you know that, it's kind of just waiting. Like, when is he going to flip a switch?
What's going to happen? Yeah, you're just waiting for the kind of snap to happen.
Yeah, which in a way helps because you do feel that tension. You're like, I know this is happening. When is it going to happen? But also, I kind of feel like knowing that did like dampen the experience a little bit for me.
See, I don't mean to cut you off, but I kind of disagree with you. Like, I felt like the movie was not very tense, and I felt like because I knew what was going to happen, I didn't really like. It was like, oh, I know eventually they're going to just kind of like whatever, kidnap them or do something to them. So like when it actually happens, the tension doesn't really mean anything to me. Like imagine if you
I see your point. I see your point, but
like imagine if you before you went into the theater, like you didn't know any, like you just thought it was like some type of camping like horror movie. And you didn't know anything about like the twist. It would have made the movie a lot better.
That's true. I mean, I feel like you would have just known something weird was happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it would have been something, but
we got to find someone who did see it without watching the trailers and see what they thought. Something that I found interesting though about this film was that the movie that it was remade from literally came out in 2022, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too because I don't understand what, like, especially for a movie that's so just made 2 years ago, like, why? What is the market? What is the reason to remake this? Like, you can have subtitles. It's not. I'm pretty sure the original one's in Danish.
Yeah, I think it does feel like a weird one to remake.
Yeah.
It's not like a super like well-known film that they're like, yeah, we got to get a remake of this made within 2 years. This has to be the fastest turnaround I've ever heard of. Yeah. It seemed as if almost like as they were making this movie, they had plans, or as they were making the original, they had plans to remake it.
Kind of like a funny game situation. Well, not like
that's different
situation,
but honestly, is it the same director? I don't
I don't
think
know. I
so.
don't think
I don't
so.
think he would make the same movie 2 years apart, but
Yeah.
no,
Let me
this is
see.
directed by James Watkins, also known for The Woman in Black. That Daniel Radcliffe one.
I don't know if I saw that.
I
The
feel like I
Woman
have
in
a
Black.
memory of seeing that in a theater with dad. I don't know why.
What's it about?
I don't know, it just has, like, Harry Potter in it, and, like, there's this woman that wears black, and she's haunting him for something. I don't really know, but let me see.
Oh,
The
okay,
director
interesting.
of the first one is named Christian Taftrup. Apparently that one's really good, but people say that this one's better on
Really?
Twitter. That's what I've seen.
I mean, Twitter
Let's
is.
see. Let's see the
Let's
letterbox
take that with a
ratings.
grain of salt.
That's true. This one has a 3.4. The original has a 3.3. So that's all you need to know.
Yeah,
It's
it's
guaranteed
pretty.
better.
So like they remade the movie just for it to be basically kind of a little bit better or the same as the original.
Yeah, it is strange. I mean, the one thing I'll say though that like probably carried the movie the most was the performances. I think
Yeah,
everyone was great, but McAvoy was really,
really
really good.
good. Yeah,
And it's not gonna get recognized at all just because of the type of movie it is. But his performance was actually like some of the best acting I've seen this year. It's
yeah, he was
legitimately
phenomenal.
Oscar worthy to me. How he was able to switch up at any second.
Looking, yeah,
And just like he played that deranged character so well,
yeah.
you know.
No, I
Um
agree. I feel like his performance though stands above everybody else by like a landslide.
Yeah, I think the woman who played his wife was really good too.
Yeah,
She was
the
actually in
kids were good
another.
too, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, they were. She was in another horror film this year. That one, what the fuck's it called? Stop
Well,
motion?
oh, yeah,
You've heard of it, right?
yeah, I heard of it. I haven't
She
watched it
plays
though.
the lead in that.
Huh.
So, she was also
Uh,
in Last Voyage of the Demeter, apparently. I don't remember that, but
yeah.
I like that movie.
Um, did you have a favorite scene from?
Yeah, my favorite scene was, like, right before the family left. When they what's the bunny's name? Like, Mr. Snuffles or
Oh,
something, or what
yeah, Mr. Snow,
what
whatever the hell it is.
when he's, like, stuck in the gutter or no, first, like, the tire has a hole in it, then the bunny's stuck in the
Everything's
gutter,
about her.
and it's
Then
just,
the
like,
engine
all
doesn't
these
work.
moments,
Yeah,
and you're just wait because 'cause they're about to leave, so you're like, "What's gonna happen? When is this guy gonna snap? Like, are they gonna escape?" Like, whatever.
yeah.
And then it all kinda concludes with the son getting pushed into the
The
pond,
water. Yeah.
which honestly, like, if you were that pops, what do you do? I feel like I would dip,
I dip. Yeah,
honestly.
dude.
I would
Honestly,
dip,
I'm
like, rest
sorry.
in peace to that kid,
Yeah, but it's
but
my it's basically like I'm not gonna put my family in danger again.
yeah, because they got really lucky
Yeah,
to
no.
escape at the end, but, like, in reality, you're basically
Ah,
saying, like, "This kid's life is worth
is
as
equal to
much as
mine.
my
Yeah.
my family." Plus,
I
he
mean,
doesn't even have a tongue anyway, like,
what? I mean, what does that have to?
what difference will he make to society if he lives?
Yeah. But
That was a joke. Sorry
no,
if
yeah, we
any
know
of our
that.
listeners don't have any
Don't have a
tongues.
tongue.
I was just kidding. Um, but
Yeah.
let me see. I got some notes written here too of some other random things
Wait,
that I
you're not gonna
noticed.
ask me my favorite scene?
Nah, I don't really. I don't really
Uh,
care. Actually, no. I'm sorry. That was very
um,
rude of me. You can go.
one thing I forgot to mention was before was it's also like the scenery is really nice. It's kind of set in like the Italian mountainside, and they're in like the woods a lot and stuff. So it's really like kind of a beautiful setting. There's one scene where he takes it. I'm forgetting all the characters' names. Um,
That's all
not
right. You can
McAvoy's.
use the other
Whatever.
dad.
Yeah. He goes into the woods with McAvoy's character, and they go like on that mountain, and, like just scream.
That's your favorite scene.
Yeah, I thought it was mad
Yeah.
funny.
No, that was a good one. Yeah. That's a good point about the scenery. I didn't bring that up, but just like where they were, even
Yeah,
like
it looked amazing.
when they were on vacation the first time, and then when they also go
Go
to,
back.
or what was it, the northern country? What do you say?
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
like
the
that.
northern countryside or whatever.
So wait, this takes place
That's where
where
our
is it?
family's from.
It's in Italy? Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I knew it was somewhere in Europe. I just get them
Nah, it's in
confused
Italy.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did
But
you go when you went? anywhere that was
I
in the
went to
movie or no?
Venice. No, no, I wasn't that far. But we did review that what was that murder mystery in Venice?
Oh man, haunting in the not no haunting
The Haunting of Venice or something like that.
haunting in Venice. Yeah,
Something
that
like
was
that.
actually pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's
Randomly,
solid. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
I want to talk about some negatives though. There are some plot holes with like how that family operates. So
yeah,
it's basically as you get to the end, it's shown that what this family does is they meet people on vacation, tell the families to come back to to the northern country to like spend some time with them, and then basically kill them and take their kids and cut their tongues out. The motive is kind of blurry to me. I mean, I know that shows the room where it has like all the valuables of the people, but it's
hmm
not really like valuables. It's like luggages and
yeah.
like
It honestly looks like
shoes.
it looked like the room in an airport where all the people lose their shit from the baggage claim. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, I know he steals some watches.
Yeah,
This could have just be something that went over my head, but I didn't really see what their motive was, really.
yeah.
I mean, they mentioned that, oh, like that she wasn't able to, she like lost one of her kids or something. Maybe they mentioned something about her not being able to have kids. Is that why they steal the kids? Maybe
I
I
don't
don't
even
know
know, but
because
like, is that even true? They could have been
that's the
lying about
thing.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they could have been lying. I don't know, but yeah, and also like it doesn't really make any sense because there's like a booklet where it shows like maybe 10 to 15 different
yeah. The
families.
families. Yeah.
You
It's
would
like
think at
eventually
least one
someone's
of
gonna.
them would be like, oh, to a significant other or like some other family member would be like, hey, we're going on vacation with these random people, and then they would just like
Yeah,
never come back. You don't think anyone would be like, hey, they were just traveling with these people. Maybe you should go investigate them and see what happened.
yeah. That was
Like,
strange.
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I don't know. That was one of my major
pet
things that
peeve.
I had
Yeah.
issues with. There are like some cool hidden moments I noticed in the movie. There's one scene where Scoot McNairy's character and Mackenzie Davis' character. I'm really bad with character names, but they're the husband and wife. They're like arguing in the bedroom because I guess she like cheated on him or something, or she almost cheated on
He
him.
like some guy sent her a dick picture.
Yeah,
That's
I don't,
literally it's something like that.
something like they're having problems with their marriage.
Yeah,
They're
marriage.
arguing,
Yeah,
and as they're arguing, there's like a little window in the door of the room. And if you're as you're watching, you sort of see James McAvoy's head like slowly go into that window, and you could it's like blurry, but it's definitely there. I noticed
yeah,
it while I was watching because I pointed it out to who I was watching the movie with. I was like,
yeah,
"Yo, what the fuck?" So little details like that I thought
yeah.
were they were I don't
Cool.
even know what the word is to
I like when
cool,
movies do
well
that.
placed. I don't know,
Yeah.
but you see my point. You
No,
see
I
my point.
understand. Yeah. Um.
Um, yeah,
I
another
wasn't.
little. No, you can
uh,
go. Sorry, I've
Yeah.
been talking for a while.
No, you're good. One thing I noticed too was that I feel like they had a horrible use of the sound in the music. The movie's extremely quiet, and even in the tension scenes, like there's barely any music, and I felt like that took away from the scenes.
I
I don't know, maybe that
disagree.
was just
I
me.
feel like lack of sound makes it more tense.
I feel like the sound makes like can make the tension better. Cause like
It,
I don't know.
I guess it depends how it's used, but I feel like lack of sound causes more tension usually.
Really?
I don't know. But anyways, what I was going to say before was that I was doing like a little bit of research on the film, and apparently the original was actually based on something that happened in the life of the original director, Christian Taftrup. I mentioned him
Jesus.
before. It wasn't actually this, but apparently he basically lived the first 20 to 30 minutes of the movie. So he went on vacation, met this family, had such a great time. When he went home, they invited him to go to their place, and he contemplated it but decided no. And he kind of wrote this movie based on
Oh,
thinking
like
of the worst possible thing that could have happened if he went. So I thought that was really interesting.
it's
I
pretty cool.
really,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought that was really cool how he was able to take like that real life event and just kind of write a script out of it.
Yeah.
Um, but
Was there any like major reason why they remade it?
I couldn't find anything really.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I don't. I've never even heard of this movie, honestly. I know,
Yeah,
like, some people on Twitter had mentioned that they had seen the original and stuff, but I wasn't aware of it, and I'm
yeah,
pretty big into movies and stuff,
yeah.
obviously,
No,
since we're,
yeah.
um, but yeah, I don't know, maybe we could give our favorite characters. I really
Um,
I was a big fan of James McAvoy as Patty.
I agree.
I mentioned his performance, and I think he's a great actor.
Yeah, I'd same. I feel like it's kind of he's the most memorable in my opinion.
Yeah, and his
Kind
wife was honestly, bro, all 4 of them were good, really, but
I mean, they were good, but I don't know. I feel like McAvoy just acting circles around everybody else,
yeah, yeah, um,
or is it just his perform? Like he's just surrounded by not that many. Like honestly, I really didn't like the husband's performance.
I thought he was good.
He was just like a bitch.
Bro,
I get
that's
that's
what
the
he's supposed to
character.
be.
I
That's
know,
what
I
the
know.
character's supposed to be.
I don't know. I guess it's
But
more of a character issue.
yeah, this is kinda random. I wanna bring this up. It has nothing to do with the movie, but I don't know if you saw recently, some scooper or, like, insider was saying, like, for DC's, Batman movie that they're doing, Brave and the
Yeah.
Bold, they were like, "You're never gonna believe who they wanna cast as Batman." And he currently is in a movie that's out in theaters now,
Oh, I saw that.
and he's
Yeah.
older. So people are saying it could be McAvoy.
Honestly, he could do it. He has like the he has like the body to do it too. He has the acting chops. He's done superhero stuff. It's not like he's
Yeah, but what other options are there that are I think Hartnett maybe? It was I mean,
Hartnett was one I liked.
Trap might have been out when that guy tweeted that. I feel
I
like
don't know. I mean, just because someone's in the
he
running
doesn't
though
give
doesn't
me
mean they're gonna
Bruce
get
Wayne
it.
vibes at all,
Who? Which one?
McAvoy.
I mean, I feel like they could when he's like the rich kind of playboy Charles in the beginning of the X-Men series. He's kind of got a
Yeah,
little Bruce Wayne in him.
I guess, yeah.
The charismatic side. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. It would be tough to see. I feel like I would believe his Bruce Wayne, but his Batman would be a little. That's the one I'd have to question.
Yeah. I mean, I would question both, to be honest with you, but
Yeah. So,
yeah.
anyway,
Um,
I don't know if you want to get to ratings now.
yeah, we can get to ratings. So, you wanna go first?
Yeah. So I gave it a 3 stars, so 6 out of 10. Mostly because one, I basically knew the entire plot of the movie before even walking into it, and it wasn't by choice. And I don't know. It just feels very. I don't know. I don't know. It's just very mid to me, in my opinion. Besides the performances, obviously McAvoy was fantastic, and the scenery. Just wasn't a big fan of it. Matt.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
I actually gave it a 4 stars, 8 out of 10, and I know I might have not been super excited about it while watching it, but I just felt like it was very well made, very well acted, and the whole time I felt tense. I mean, maybe it was just me, but I
Yeah.
feel like that was the goal of the movie, and it succeeded in that way. So,
Fair. Fair. I feel like
yeah.
that's we really like. I feel like a lot of our ratings are pretty similar.
Yeah, we usually tend to agree on most things,
Yeah.
but yeah, when we disagree, it's sometimes leads to better
Better
conversation.
topics. Wish it was a better
So,
movie to talk about though.
yeah.
Um.
Uh, all right,
Yeah.
you wanna move on to the next film, you could, go ahead and
Yeah.
give this one an intro.
So the next film we actually were originally going to talk about Transformers, like we mentioned before, and we ended up both seeing this movie called The Substance, directed by Corley. I'm going to definitely butcher this. Corley Farget, right?
I wouldn't be able to say it better. Let me
Yeah,
give it a
it's she's a
try, hold
French.
on.
She's a French director.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wait,
give it a try. Let's see.
let me give it a try based on the spelling. Coralie Fargiet.
Yeah.
Fargier.
Fargier. I know it's pronounced like different than it's. She's a French director. She previously directed the movie Revenge, which a lot of people have spoke highly about. But I've heard a lot. So the plot synopsis. Sorry. If you follow the instructions, what could go wrong? A fading celebrity decides to use a black market drug, a cell replicating substance that temporarily creates a young, better version of herself. So before going into this movie, I knew basically nothing about it. I don't know about you, Matt.
I just knew it was body horror, and I knew that it was I basically knew, like, the basic plot where it's,
Plot.
like, an actress makes a younger version of herself,
Yeah,
and it's body horror, but besides that, I didn't really have
yeah.
any ideas.
So it stars Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley as the two leads. This was. I'm just gonna start off by saying this. This was my favorite movie of the year so far. I fucking love this movie. It's one of the most batshit insane endings I've ever seen in a movie, and I feel like there's every time something absolutely nuts happens, you're like, there's no way they're gonna fucking top it. Like something else happens. Matt. I don't know if you agree with me, but
I agree with you that it is insane.
no, I know,
It's
but I know
not
you don't
it's
like it
not
as much as
yeah,
me.
it's not the best movie of the year in my opinion, but I've seen you're not the only one. I've seen other people calling this the best movie of the year. Um, I loved it too. I'm really into that body horror stuff, as you know.
Yeah,
And just I feel like this was different than most body horror movies because a lot of the body horror was sort of in places that you wouldn't expect. And
yeah,
honestly, the grotesqueness of this movie goes past the body horror. I
yeah,
feel like it was purposely disgusting in multiple ways. Like it would linger on certain shots, like
yeah.
when Dennis Quaid's character is at dinner with
The
Demi Moore,
shrimp
and yeah, he's eating the shrimp and he's getting his fingers in the sauce, and
sauce
it's just
and
like
everything.
it's
Yeah,
so disgusting.
yeah.
And there's also, putting a
You
needle
get
into a vein, things like
yeah.
that. Uh,
When she
her
would this
when she
like the
was devouring the
sorry,
chicken
yeah,
and
the
making all
cooking
the
scenes.
yeah, that was just so disgusting.
Such an
Which
unsettling movie.
yeah, and it also has a very deep and
I mean,
important
yeah.
message.
I think it's one of the most ambitious horror movies I've ever seen. I've never seen especially body horror, because usually body horror movies are kind of like, you ever hear the term like torture porn? Like people just like it to go see it for,
Yeah, it's
like
like
usually,
Saw,
yeah, there's
like
no
this
substance to it.
yeah, like the later Saw films.
Yeah, but this actually has like real relevant social commentary about a topic that I feel like that isn't really discussed a lot in movies, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's about how typically women are viewed as less because as they get older because,
Their
they lose
body
certain
ages.
they lose qualities that people I guess value in media and things
Yeah,
like that. I mean, obviously it's hard for us to relate to that,
late. Yeah,
but it's definitely something that I was aware of, like people struggling with and stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
Honestly though, there was one thing I noticed is there was like a lot more focus on nudity and sexuality than I really expected.
yes, yes. It's
Like
very sexualized.
there's
But not. I don't like. It's
there are
sexualized,
so
but
many shots of Margaret
shots.
Qualley's ass.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
actually insane. I mean, I'm not complaining, like don't get me wrong, but it just felt like I just didn't expect it?
yeah. No, it is a very sexual movie. It covers a lot of ground for a lot of different topics. It's also very. There's not the script is like not long at all. It's mostly just imagery and sound design. I think more than anything.
Yeah. I feel like the dialogue doesn't carry a lot of the film. There are large chunks of the movie without any dialogue, specifically the transformation scene,
Mission- Like
which is
the
one of
visual storytelling is like phenomenal. I think. Like I
yeah.
just an example in my opinion is this. So there's a scene where um Margaret, sorry, Demi Moore's character. Her name's Elizabeth. She's the only. So let me backtrack a little bit. We didn't really explain how this works. So basically she takes a serum, it creates a younger version of herself. So every 7 days she has to switch. So it's like she lives 7 days as like the younger version. The younger version of herself is called Sue. So 7 days as Sue, and then 7 days as back to Elizabeth. But what happens is, wait, now I'm like back. What were we originally talking about?
We were talking about was it the sexuality still or no?
Um, no, no. I feel like there's
Ah,
just so much of like, because you have to explain everything beforehand. Like,
okay, wait, let's restart. Let's
yeah,
restart.
yeah. Okay,
So
so
so go ahead. Go ahead.
she she takes the serum, it creates a younger version of herself. So she has to switch bodies every 7 days. So what happens is eventually the younger version of herself like starts getting kind of like greedy and like starts extending longer than 7 days. But what happens is every day they have to take this thing called the stabilizer, which is they basically do a spinal tap on someone. That was like another really unsettling scene. I don't know if like how you felt watching those.
I mean, obviously, as it went along, that sort of hole where they injected the
Yeah.
needle got more and more infected and disgusting.
So they basically just like suck spinal fluid out, and it helps like stabilize them when they're in the other body. What happens is eventually when she goes over a day, like that's what she does, is she has some guy over and she extends a day and takes 1 day extra fluid. When Sue switches back to Elizabeth, like her arm is like all kind of like
Yeah,
aged.
one part of her body gets super aged and grotesque,
Yeah,
and then they warn her, like what you take will be you can't
it's
get back.
can't back.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, so obviously after that happens, you kind of can see,
see where the movie
yeah, you can
goes.
see where it's gonna go.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
yeah,
sure you could. This isn't hard to believe, but she obviously said that David Cronenberg was a huge influence on her growing up, and
yeah,
I feel like the influence is definitely felt.
yeah. There were certain elements of films like Crimes of the Future, honestly,
Yeah,
and some of the
yeah,
body horror parts, and just like not necessarily surgery aspect, but just like how that body is formed. That
yeah.
kind of reminded me of elements of that
That's
film
yeah.
when she's sewn back up. Other movies that I thought of while watching this were Black Swan, for one, and
Really?
also, yeah, just like a desire to be perfect
Perfect. Yeah,
in that way, and it kind of leads to your downfall.
yeah,
I also thought of the movie Brain Dead or Dead Alive by Peter Jackson. I know I mentioned it to you,
yeah,
and honestly, it's one that I've thought about recommending to talk about a few times. I will eventually,
yeah.
but
That's on my list.
that climax is very similar to events that happen in the movie Brain Dead.
Yeah.
So it reminded me a lot of that.
I actually remember what I was gonna say now
Yeah.
before we talk. There's a scene where this is before she kind of starts aging, but where Elizabeth she meets this guy who like she kind of brushes off, but she feels lonely, so she calls him to hang out with him, and she's getting ready to go on her date, and she's putting all her makeup on, and as she's walking out, like right in front of her, like kind of penthouse wherever she lives, is a sign for her younger self, like an advertisement with her younger self on it. And it almost reminded me of because it focuses a lot on the eyes, and it almost gave me like Great Gatsby kind of. You know how there's the eyes on the I forgot what that sign is called. Have you seen the
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
Gatsby? You know what I'm
Yeah, I
talking about?
have. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So she walks out the bathroom and then she sees the eyes and goes back and does her makeup again and then keeps going back and forth and it's like she can't bring herself to leave because she just feels so what's the word,
Inferior.
inferior to her younger self, and it was honestly one of my favorite moments in the movie, and she
Yeah,
doesn't say a word either.
I think a lot of people are talking about that scene in
Yeah,
particular. Just Demi Moore's performance.
yeah. Another thing that's crazy
Have you
too.
seen Demi Moore in a lot of other stuff? I
No,
like know her name and I know
a lot of
she's
people were telling me about
relevant.
GI Jane. That's
She's
like
is she the
yeah, she's like the lead in it.
yeah. What were you gonna
Um,
say though?
what's crazy too is they cast like she's supposed to be 50 years old in the movie. In real life, Demi Moore's 62.
So they cast older on purpose just to make
Yeah,
her look, I
yeah. But
guess.
it's kind of funny too because they're saying like she's older, but in the movie she looks great. Like for
Yeah, no, she does. She does look
yeah,
great.
so it's
Obviously,
just
as the movie goes along, she
yeah,
sort of,
and we'll talk about that. But um, so yeah,
I
that's
guess yeah, we should probably bring up the
how the
climax
end.
at some
Yeah,
point
so
because that was my favorite scene.
yeah, yeah,
I
me
really
too.
enjoyed that. But
So basically, um, eventually there's kind of Sue and Elizabeth kind of start to hate each other, but the movie stresses that they're one. But you can tell they're like kind of they're like drifting apart, like they're beefing with each other. They hate each other. So eventually, what happens is Sue takes all the spinal fluid out of Elizabeth, like everything, like so she can just stay in the body as long as she wants, essentially, until she runs out. And then she runs out one day and she calls the company and is like, "How do I like? What do I do? What do I do?" And she's like, "You have to switch back." And she switches back and she's like this decrepit kind of looking almost like gremlin looking thing. And
Yeah.
the makeup is fantastic. Like they transformed Demi Moore. She's unrecognizable in it.
Yeah, that creature looked disgusting.
So, yeah.
One thing, see, that's when like when that part happened, that's when the movie was teetering on like
Yeah.
being a little bit
A little bit crazy.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
where it's kind of like having these tonal shifts where it could get dangerous in a movie like this where you can really fuck it up.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that they went all the way and just completely shifted at the end, I think that really worked.
Yeah, I
If
agree.
if they would have just done like,
She
because
we didn't
just
even get to the fucking crazy part.
yeah, because bro, there's a part where because most of the movie is taken seriously. I mean,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are like there are
Funny
comedic moments.
moments. Yeah.
Obviously, there's some moments that you laugh because you're uncomfortable, but there are moments that you laugh because it's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
But they basically make Demi Moore, her character Elizabeth, they make her into this just disgusting old lady with an insane hunch. And
Yeah.
there's a part where she's fighting with Sue because something happens. She tries when she gets to herself, she's like, "That's it, I'm killing Sue." So she gets like the
It's like the
whatever it is,
Terminate
something.
whatever.
Yeah, it's like something to terminate Sue. She puts it in like half of it in her, or like 3/4 of it, and then she's like, "Wait, never mind. I don't want to do this." So she comes back, and when she wakes up, they're both up. It's like the first time they're both up and interacting with each other. They start fighting instantly. But there's a scene, there's like scenes where the disgusting old lady gets kicked like across the room,
Yeah.
flies and like
Right.
shatters a table. And I was like, dude, this movie was going so serious for so long. Now, like, what the fuck
No.
happened?
Nah,
But
the last 20 minutes are like a fucking comedy.
yeah, but I'm glad that it took it
No, yeah,
that
it
far.
stuck the landing. It worked in my opinion.
Yeah, but
It like transitions well into the comedy ending.
yeah. So yeah, to get towards the ending, basically what happens is Sue in that fight, Sue ends up killing Elizabeth. So she's like, "All right, that's it. Now I'm the one body. I'm chilling. I'm gonna go perform this New Year's show that I'm supposed to do." So she goes, and when she gets there, she starts noticing like
Body's
shit's
like
going. Her
falling
body's kind of
apart.
falling. Yeah, her teeth start falling out. Her ear falls off.
Yeah. You right? Hello? Hello. Yeah, I think we had some technical difficulties, but anyway, what happens
Joe,
is
Joe.
yeah. Yeah.
Why did I cut out for a sec?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
What was the last thing I said?
Her teeth start falling out.
Yeah, sorry. So her teeth
No,
start
good.
falling out. And she's like, "What do I do? Like, what the fuck do I do?" And then she starts hearing the voice of the people saying, like, "Oh, the substance will make you into a better version of yourself." So Sue, who already is a product of the substance, gets this idea to make another better version of herself. So she
Yeah.
gives herself the substance, but instead of making a better version of her, it's like this insane.
Same.
I don't even know how to describe this
Elephant
monster.
Man like meets the Thing.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I got it had honestly like working at a hospital. There was a lot of like the way that the body horror is done. Like it's not obviously it's not believable. Like there's a fucking head hanging out of the woman's shoulder, but like the legs, like the way that the legs were presented, it reminded me of like the super obese patients that come into the hospital that have like they're like the diabetic foot ulcers and like just absolutely disgusting. Like it literally reminded me of my job. Like it's
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
there's some level of realism to it.
Yeah,
Like, obviously not a lot,
yeah,
but, you know, um, yeah, so it's this insane monster, and it kinda gets to this point where you're like, "Okay, she's supposed to go perform, and she came back to try to fix herself. Now she's this monster. Like, how is this movie gonna end?
yeah.
What are
I
they
thought
gonna
like
do?"
she was just gonna. I was like, I guess she's gonna like die or whatever. Like, I figured like her body wouldn't be able to function or something.
Yeah.
But what they do is they literally make her put on the dress, this giant creature, and
Put her
she
earrings
goes
in,
put
put
her
her
earrings
makeup
in,
on.
curl her single strand of hair. That scene was mad funny. My whole theater was crying at that scene.
Yeah, yeah.
And she goes to the New Year's celebration. She has a cut. She cuts out a picture of like Elizabeth, like her older self, and like puts it on her face, and like goes to the thing and it's like, oh, it's me. What? Like obviously everyone's but it's mad funny before. Uh, Dennis Quaid. That's right, Dennis Quaid, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Dennis Quaid's character is like, oh, this is our best showgirl. Like, remember he's like hyping her up to the shareholders and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I
Um,
thought it was funny how like no one notices that she's has a someone's
giant,
face
yeah,
stapled to her, or
yeah,
a picture of someone's face
State,
stapled to her
yeah,
face. Meanwhile, it's a giant, disgusting creature, but somehow no one notices.
yeah.
I thought that
Um,
was funny.
one thing I forgot to mention too. Originally, uh, Ray Liotta was gonna play Harvey.
Dude, I was gonna say that. That
Yeah,
was like a note that I had written down.
yeah. Which is kind of that sucks. That would have been really cool. That would have been interesting to see that.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
know, like him in using, that sort of expressions and
yeah, that's what I was at. I've never seen him do anything like that. That's why I was like interested in what that would have looked
yeah.
like.
Where did you see that? I'm just curious.
I watched their interview with where they interviewed the director and the two actors, and they
Oh, okay,
were just
okay.
talking. But yeah, it does suck.
Yeah. That would have been
But anyway,
interesting. But yeah,
um,
something about what were you gonna say though? Or was that your point? That was what you were trying to get to?
yeah, no,
Just
no, no. What was I talking about? How the movie?
no, you just mentioned Dennis Quaid. I thought you were gonna say something about his character, but I
Oh,
didn't
well,
know
I
if
mean, I feel like he's gonna be. He was very. I mean, he's always been like a pretty good actor, but I feel like he was so great in this movie.
yeah, he was
Obviously,
really
Demi
good.
Moore is the biggest takeaway, more quality, but he was fantastic.
Yeah. And it really is basically just them three. I mean, there are
Yeah,
other side characters, but no one of any importance, I don't really
yeah,
think. But I kind of wanted to talk about the ending and like what I thought it meant personally.
yeah,
I tried not to watch any like ending explains because I wanted to just see what I could come up with.
yeah, yeah,
um, and tell me if this makes sense to you.
yeah,
I kind of saw it as the director sort of representing celebrities trying to make themselves younger and ending up just kind of botching it and making themselves look worse, and then people call them monsters anyway. You know how there's like all
yeah.
these
With
I
the
don't
people
wanna
with
bring
plastic
up
surgery.
yeah, I don't wanna bring up any names of celebrities, but there are
Yeah,
definitely a few you could think of that try all this stuff to look younger and, like, filler in their cheeks and all this stuff, and it
yeah,
makes them look like monsters.
yeah.
Not actual monsters, but, something off. I feel like this was just a super exaggerated way of showing that,
Fair.
but not in like a
Negative.
haha, they
Yeah,
look gross, more in like a
just kind of shining
like
light
no
on
matter
them
what they try to do, people are still gonna call them monsters and,
monsters.
so
I
I don't know.
One thing I thought that was interesting about the movie is they never like shame Elizabeth for taking the substance. Like they never make her like it's never portrayed as like her being selfish or her being, it's just more shown as like her drive to want to be the best.
That's true, but also, like, no one knew she was taking it.
No, I know, but still.
But yeah, it was like a conscious decision. They could've put in a scene where people were like, "Oh, you used the substance, this and that, whatever."
Yeah. But
Um, I liked how the substance didn't really get a backstory because I
yeah,
feel
I
like
agree. I
it didn't need one.
Yeah, it just was
That's
like
not
I'm sorry.
yeah. No, no, I was gonna say, like, that's not what the movie's about, you
Yeah.
know? It's just it's there,
Yeah.
that's all.
It's I feel like they basically just like, yeah, it's mitosis. That's
Mhm.
essentially what like with the egg they show in the beginning. Um yeah, but I also that scene made me very uneasy, dude. I don't know why. I remember texting you about this. The scene with where they birth kind of Sue. I don't know for some reason. I don't really get like grossed out easily. Like I felt mad lightheaded. I had to like close my eyes for a little bit.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Yeah, but I don't know. Usually that stuff never bothers me. Like the second birthing scene, I had no problem with. But
Maybe you needed some water.
yeah,
Did you ever
maybe
think of that?
it could have been.
You were
Yeah,
having too much popcorn and you got
yeah.
dehydrated?
I had too much slushy.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah, I guess you
yeah,
wanna give your favorite character.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of. I'm gonna say Elizabeth. I think like her arc through the story is really interesting, especially at the end, kind of how the whole thing concludes. And she just gave a fantastic performance.
Yeah. It's easy to pick her. I think she's just as deserving, but
Yeah, they're both. Yeah,
for my favorite character, I chose Sue.
yeah,
I'm just a really big fan of Margaret Qualley. She's been doing some great films recently. I put something up on her Twitter of like her last
yeah.
couple movies. It was like The Substance, Drive Away Dolls, Kinds of Kindness, and Poor Things as her last four.
That's
That's pretty
crazy.
great. I mean,
Yeah,
Drive
that's
Away
insane.
Dolls, I wasn't the biggest fan of, but
Yeah, but
she
I've
was
heard
good in it.
people say like her performance was the biggest takeaway.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, unless I
We
don't
didn't
know
even
if you
fully
have.
explain the ending.
Okay, go for it.
So basically, so what happens is it gets even more fucking insane because she gets up on stage and then everyone's like monster, like they all start pointing at her, and someone deadass comes with like a crowbar and hits her in the face, and her head explodes like at all over. Like that was like holy shit. I thought they were gonna end it right there, but then like I don't know what happens next. They like hit her hand and blood just starts spewing everywhere. She has like more like heads growing out of her body. And then in the back, they have like kind of playing over it is like uh, the character Harvey saying like like lines he made about like people's bodies during the movie. Like remember he made one. He's like like if her boobs were higher. Or so remember he made some weird ass line like that in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
it wasn't. No, no, it wasn't him. It was the judges that were picking the next showgirl.
Yeah.
He was like,
Oh
"Oh, if her boobs were up on her face instead of that giant nose, maybe we would have taken her." And it was like saying that. Just it went back to judging
yeah.
women for their appearance and things
Also,
like
there's
that.
the scene we forgot to talk about where she throws up the boob.
Oh yeah,
That was mad funny. There's two
yeah,
like that, and then she like throws up on everyone. That was the other thing.
yeah. That I'm pretty sure that I saw that scene use like 38,000 gallons of blood or something.
Jesus. Yeah,
Which
she did. Just like sprays the entire like theater, and then
yeah,
she runs out of the place. She's running, trips, falls on the floor,
explodes.
explodes everywhere, and then her face kind of like crawls out of not rubble, like her body, and like it crawls to her Hollywood star, and she's kind of like I feel like that's her moment of just her being content with her life and kind of like she was able to be I don't know.
Or just giving up and
Well, because she like
realizing,
smiles and like there's like the sparkle in the sky, so I kind of took it as like her like
yeah.
accepting it.
And then she fades into the star and
Uh,
gets swept up
Leaped up,
and forgotten.
yeah. But
I thought it
yeah,
was a good
also
ending.
one
What?
thing that was interesting was she said that obviously it's dramatized, but the director said she based it off of her experience dealing with it, becoming older in Hollywood.
I can't believe that actually happened to
Yeah,
her.
I know.
That's crazy. Um, I was gonna
But
say
yeah,
though, that's wait, who's the director's experience?
yeah. I don't know if she
I
like
feel like she's not that old though. I feel like if anything, might have
she's
been based off Demi Moore because
she's
you said
four.
she's
She's born in 1976. In her 50s. Well, that's what the movie's about. Someone in their 50s.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, one thing
Because like even
I
in the movie, like Demi Moore is objective. Like she's attractive in the movie. It's just supposed to be
yeah,
that
she
it's
is. She is.
yeah. But yeah, what were you saying?
Um, the movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's really long,
Yeah,
but I
but it
didn't feel that
didn't.
runtime at all.
Yeah, no, neither did I.
I think it was completely justified.
And honestly, it was awesome watching it in the theater. Like it was the most reactive I've seen a theater in a man long time.
Yeah, I had a pretty good theater as well.
And I think it's funny that a lot of people that went to go see that movie probably saw Demi Moore and was like, oh, like people like mom's age. It's like, oh, like Demi Moore's in this movie about like, women's bodies and stuff like that. And then they went to go see that, and it's like this fucking crazy body horror movie.
Yeah, I feel like a bunch of teen girls probably got tricked into seeing it.
Yeah,
Like, oh, it's about woman power. Like, look at this,
yeah,
whatever,
but
hot girls, this and that. And then they just see this insane, disgusting, grotesque,
yeah.
disgusting
Well, do you
film.
think this is you think this is gonna go down as like one of the best body horror movies ever made?
I mean, it's early to say, but I don't see why not. It's up
I
there.
just feel like what it's gonna separate it is that like the movie itself is very good. I mean, not like The Thing is obviously really good, but I feel like this is more of a. It's like a more elevated than a lot of the other body horror movies.
Yeah, I could agree with that
Like,
for
there's
sure.
never been kind of an elevated body horror. This is the first of its kind, I guess.
I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily true. The Thing, I would
Yeah,
argue, is elevated.
yeah,
It's
that's
about
true.
isolation,
Isolationism and stuff
turning
like
on
that.
each
That's
other.
fair.
Yeah,
I take that.
but
But you know what? I rebuttal my claim.
yeah, not rebuttal.
Uh,
You gotta think of another word for that one.
take back.
There you go.
Retract my statement.
There it is.
There it is.
Retract. Yeah, but I guess we can go to ratings now. I don't.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to
Uh,
go first.
yeah, I'll go first. So I gave The Substance 4.5 stars, 9 out of 10. It's gonna go up there as one of my favorites of this year. I think it's in my top 5 right now so far, which I didn't expect at all going into
Yeah.
the film. But I'm a huge fan of the body horror. We talked about how great the performances were, and I think it has a meaningful message at the core of it all. So
Yeah. So I gave it 5 stars. So for reference, I've only given this will be the 13th movie I've given 5 stars out of I've seen probably like over 500 movies. Even though I know Matt, you're probably at like what 2,000, something like that.
I gotta be close, but whatever.
Yeah.
That
Anyway,
doesn't matter.
but yeah, I loved everything about this movie. The body horror, the performances, the story, the sound design's amazing. Like it's also just very well shot. A lot of the kind of office building they're in is really cool. They have that like long stair. You know what I'm talking about, the
Hallway.
long hallway. Very, I don't know, it's reminiscing of The Shining a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
I think they did that on purpose
yeah,
for sure.
just this is my favorite score besides Challengers. It was honestly reminding me of Challengers a little bit. It's very like kind of house.
Yeah, yeah, I really like the score too. I
Yeah,
see how there are similarities there,
yeah.
but
But yeah, it's my number one movie of the year. If you're on the fence about it, go see this movie. I mean, even if you're listening to it, you got the whole thing spoiled. We didn't even give a spoiler warning. I forgot about that.
I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like we usually spoil everything,
spoil it. Yeah,
honestly. But
but
if you
yeah,
guys are listening and you don't want us to spoil or want us to leave spoiler warnings, let
just
us
let us
know,
know. Yeah,
and we will. Um,
yeah,
all right, you want to get to some movie news now?
yeah. We actually have a lot of movie news to talk about.
I think we have like 6 trailers or something.
Trailers, and we like the last like 2 hours. We had some major news come out.
Yeah,
But we'll
but
get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is we got the Apprentice trailer, starring Sebastian Stan as Donald Trump, and you said Strong, right? The guy's name is
Jeremy Strong. I
Jeremy
don't know
Strong
who he's
is
playing.
one of his like I guess advisors or something. It actually looks pretty good. Just gonna cover like his kind of rise in the real estate business, I guess. Uh, what the hell's her name?
Maria Bakalova.
Maria Bakalova from Borat 2, who I is a real. I think she's a great actress. She's playing his one of his wives. I'm not sure which one, but looks promising. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I'm surprised that it looks actually really good, and it doesn't look to be getting into anything political, which
Yeah, no, it's just that ass about his. I don't even think it's gonna cover anything about him being president.
yeah, I mean they have that little line of him saying, "Oh, I might
Yeah,
run for president," but I feel like that was just for
that's from
fun.
an. I've seen that before though. That's like from he said that like that's like an old referencing an old clip of his.
Yeah, I just like how it seems to be non-biased. I mean, if it was a movie about saying like, "Oh, Trump is this, Trump is that," like people know that Trump is a dick. Like you don't have to make a movie about it, you know? I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean, I'm sure the movie shows like
yeah, it'll show
eventually
it'll
how
show his
shady his
bad
life
stuff.
and stuff is
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
like,
But
but
yeah, I was just surprised. I mean, Sebastian Stan seems like he's doing a pretty good job in that role.
yeah,
And just to I don't know,
looks funny honestly.
see the story of young Trump because
Well, yeah,
I don't know it. So, it
yeah,
seems like it could be something interesting. Jeremy Strong I know is beloved by people.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't we could move on. I don't really have
well,
much else to say about that.
yeah.
But
Then I don't know if you want to talk about this, man. We'll go back and forth.
yeah, I could talk about this one. So another trailer we got was for Venom: The Last Dance, which it's the second trailer we got for the film. And it actually reveals a lot.
Yeah,
So it reveals that Null is going to be in the movie, And if you guys don't know Null, he's kind of a character that's been introduced semi recently in Marvel Comics. I saw something that this is going to be like one of the most recent comic characters to get a live action adaptation besides like Ironheart or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Null is supposed to be basically like the Thanos of Venom.
Yeah.
So it's this huge villain.
He like it's his origins really like so he was a being in like a universe before the Marvel universe, and then like he was I don't know he like killed a Celestial. He's just a very powerful kind of symbiote ruler, and normally all the symbiotes obey him, but some of them kind of like go rogue, and Venom is one of the rogue ones. I just it's just strange to me that like Null, not I'm not like trying to be a hater or anything like that, but like Null is getting adapted a live action adaptation before like Black Cat or like Hammerhead or like so many other like iconic. I know it's obviously a Venom movie, but it's just so strange.
Yeah, I mean, people want Null. I've seen people asking about
Yeah, nah,
Null.
he's cool,
He's
but like
cool. I think
also,
if he's done well, he could be cool.
but it's also like as cool as he is, if you don't care about any of the characters he's fighting against, it's like, does it make
Yeah.
it that good? You know?
I also think that there's a lot of villains in this movie. So there's going to be
Really?
Null. There's Toxin.
Oh yeah, I
There's
forgot about
there's
Toxin. Yeah.
also the guy who I can't pronounce his name, Baron Mordo.
Oh, and yeah, he's
He
playing like a symbiote hunter or something.
yeah, he's going to be a villain. That girl from Ted Lasso, she's going to be a villain. There's just like a lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on. It seems like there's going to be more symbiotes too.
The one thing I just with the Venom stuff is I just hate that he always fights symbiotes. Every he fought Riot in the first one, right? And
Yeah.
then he fought Carnage. And Carnage,
Now,
like, I feel like they could have, like, it wasn't even R rated. He's, like, probably one of the most R rated characters Marvel has. So it was so weird for him not to be R rated. And now we're getting, like, Null, this random ass, like, symbiote hunter, and that creature thing.
Toxin. Yeah, Toxin also.
No, oh yeah, and Toxin. But Toxin, yeah, I don't know. But this looks like
I
it's
have a
going to be
feel,
the swan
dude.
song of the Sonyverse.
I have a feeling. I have a strange feeling that there's going to be a Portals like scene with all symbiotes fighting Null.
Honestly,
Like,
that would be, like, but these only, what, they're going to have Topher Grace come back?
no. Like the other ones, like Scream, Agony, like all those other ones. Because there's a scene in the trailer where it
With all
shows
that, yeah, it shows like
like a
them. Yeah.
bunch of different like floating symbiotes.
But don't they all hate Venom?
Yeah, but they might team up against Null.
Yeah, maybe.
I have a feeling Sony would do some shit like that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So the we could kind of I don't know if we have this in the movie news, but this is something we wanted to talk about too. You could segue into this. Um, so there's a rumor going around now that uh the next Spider-Man movie, which we found out last week, Destin Daniel Cretton is going to be directing. That is going to be basically a Wolverine Deadpool style Spider-Man Venom team up against Null.
This is just a rumor.
It's a rumor, so you know. I really hope that's not the case. I don't think I don't know. I just don't think
I don't think
Null.
that's gonna happen.
I hope not. Yeah,
That
it would
doesn't
be
seem
cool.
likely
Like the
to.
premise of it seems like cool in theory, but I'd much rather see like Spider-Man do a street level story with.
Do you like Venom in general?
I
Like
like
not the
Venom.
character, but the movie Venom.
The movies, they're okay. I mean,
Or not only the movie, but like the
the
character in the
character's
movie.
cool. But it's just like it's not really like Venom. It's just Tom Hardy, essentially, just fucking.
I mean,
Because Venom in the
I,
comics is very different.
yeah. I feel like Venom and Spider-Man teaming up could be cool though.
No, I agree.
Tom
I do
Hardy,
agree.
Tom Holland, like them together in a movie.
That
Venom and
and
Spider-Man, it could be cool.
why
I
don't
feel
I'd
like.
rather them do what this is? They should do something where like maybe they team up, but like it because obviously it's gonna be a battle world. I'm assuming wherever they are, they could just say like, oh, like Kingpin made like a Sinister Six, and all these people are whatever, and then Spider-Man kind of befriends Venom. Because in this, there's no reason for them to beef. Like they don't. They're from two different universes, and his
Yeah.
universe doesn't have a Spider-Man. It's like maybe then you could kind of get it could be quote unquote street level with like kind of Kingpin and like other villains and stuff like that. But you could also get the Venom part of it as well. I mean, I'm not saying that's like the best Spider-Man movie, but it's kind of an ideal situation for the. Because Sony obviously wants Venom in these movies, and Marvel wants
Yeah.
to do their thing.
Or maybe Morbius could show up and be like
Yeah,
intriguing. And then like Madam Web would fly
Madam Web
in and
and the
she'll just
Vulture.
get and then she'll get hit by like a Pepsi sign and earn her blindness.
Is
That
that
would be
actually? I still don't see the movie. Is that actually goes blind in the movie? Are you
No, actually
serious?
no wait. The villain gets killed by like a giant
Right,
P off a Pepsi
the
sign.
sign in
And
the
then like
Long Island City.
how she gets blinded is she falls in water and there's like all these fireworks going off and one of them shoots in the water and hits her in the eyes. Like
Why did they not just make the villain make her blind?
I don't know.
That's
Because that would be somewhat intelligent,
intelligent.
probably.
This seems like I said before, Venom. This seems like the swan song. Like I don't think they're going to be doing many Sonyverse movies after this.
Yeah, I mean we have Craven.
Craven, but I doubt it. I
Do
don't
they
think they have
have?
any
Yeah,
in
I was gonna
production
say,
right now.
do they have anything planned?
Spider-Man 4 is the next one because technically that's Sony.
Yeah, but
That's their
in
next movie.
Sonyverse,
No.
dude, imagine like they're ready to hang it up and they're just like, all right, we're gonna end this shit finally.
Sell everything to Marvel. They should
And
just
then
fucking license the characters to Marvel.
how crazy would it be though if Craven just made like $1 billion and then they're like, all right, fuck it, we're reviving this again.
Sonyverse, they make like a Morbius spin-off series, a Morbiette movie.
Morbiette the movie. I would watch
Morbiette
that.
the movie. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess let's just move on. You could talk about this next trailer we got.
So the next trailer we got was for Mickey 17, which is first of all, I don't want to hear anybody saying that we're not getting any good original movies. This seems really I don't know before I actually finish that statement. This isn't based off a book, right?
No, it is.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yep. Right, it still is like original.
It's still
though.
like original though.
It's not like an IP.
Yeah.
It's just based on a book.
It basically follows Mickey, which is Robert Pattinson's character, and he signs up to be this. What are they called? Is it?
What is something
Replicant?
you can?
Replicant.
No. That's from Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
What is something that you can throw out? Disposables? Is that what they're called?
Expendable?
Expendables?
No.
Expendable?
I can't think it was something. Whatever. It's so basically every time he goes on like a mission or whatever or some type of excursion or something, he dies and they regenerate him, but he learns something about like the world they're in, I guess. We don't really get like too much about the plot details. It just seems that towards the end of the trailer, it shows that like one of his replicants or whatever, I'm calling it replicants for now, survives, and kind of it seems like they're kind of frowned upon, like the duplicate. I'm sorry,
Duplicate.
That's
what it is.
the term that they called him in the trailer.
Okay.
It seems that like whoever Mark Ruffalo's character, he seems like some type of general, like high-end official. They don't like duplicates and they want to kill them. So it seems like it's going to be something with that. What's his name is in it as well? From Stephen Yeun and Mark Ruffalo. It seems like it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I don't know why Warner Brothers is not pushing this harder. They they almost forgot to release the trailer that day.
Yeah, I'm sure there was reasons why they waited, but it did come out at like 8 p.m. that night.
Very strange.
It was weird. Your Robert Pattinson looks like he's going to put on a great performance.
Yeah, he had a weird little accent, so you know you're in for a banger.
Yeah, exactly. Bong Joon-ho is obviously great director.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I was reading on Twitter is apparently in the book, like Robert Pattinson and his duplicants fuck.
Really?
Is that going to happen in the movie?
I mean, there's a scene with like him and like there's two of him, and then there's that girl in the trailer. And she's like grabbing both of his cheeks, and people were like saying that maybe that was a scene.
But I feel like they might do it.
They probably will, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know if Bong Joon-ho is like weird like that though. Would he direct something like that? Maybe. I don't know. It looks good though.
Yeah,
it comes
it looks
out
interesting.
early 2025, January. So So wait, for stuff coming out next year, we've got like a couple trailers
Yeah, we
now.
have
I mean,
Wolfman, Captain
Wolf,
America,
Thunderbolts, which we'll talk about
Thunderbolts.
in a second,
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
and this. I
this.
don't. I don't. I think
I
that's
don't
it.
think that's
I
it. I
think
mean,
that's it so
technically,
far.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, from the leaks shit, but
Um, yeah, that's it.
so it's
Yeah,
crazy,
you want to talk about this because you
dude. We're
mentioned it.
almost in October. It's crazy,
I know.
but time flies. Time flies.
Moving
All
right
right.
along.
Yeah, let's talk about this next trailer we got. Actually, today it dropped, and that's the trailer for Thunderbolts Asterisk.
Yeah,
Um, and
I
it's
can't believe
basically
it.
it's the same footage basically
Yeah,
from the leaked Comic-Con stuff, but just in HD. I think it looks good.
yeah. It actually looks. This is crazy. Well shot for a Marvel movie. Like I've never seen. It looks like they moved the camera a little bit in this.
Well, it's the dude who made Beef, right? And he's apparently
Yeah,
good.
and I
I
think the cinematographers was very good as well.
yeah,
he did like a very famous movie. I forgot. This is
yeah,
bothering me now.
I saw someone on Twitter saying that, but I don't know if that was them trolling or not.
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's look up
But like, I
Thunderbolts.
feel like it visibly. I mean, usually Marvel looks like kind of CGI slop. This was a little refreshing.
Yeah,
Refreshing.
there was no CG really in the trailer. I mean, there's a couple like
Oh, he
exploding
did. He
cars.
did the guy. Yeah, it is him. It's the guy who did the Green Knight.
Oh, the Green Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were trolling for some
Nah,
reason.
it actually is.
All right, yeah, I like the Green Knight. Did you ever see that
Yeah.
one?
No, but I've heard.
You would really like it, and
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
Dev
Ralph
Patel.
Fiennes too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's great as the
Yeah.
actual Green Knight. He's not in it much, but
Yeah. Yeah, we get kind of our first looks at the characters.
I like the suits for Ghost and Taskmaster.
I
I don't
think they look
know.
like ass. I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping they get like an upgrade.
I like them. I don't know. I'm
I
curious
like
what Bucky's role is going to be in this
Florence Pugh
movie.
is gonna probably be the leader. I'm assuming.
Yeah, but what is Bucky's role? Because he is supposed to be a politician,
I feel like
apparently.
he's gonna probably like,
There's
or
a scene where he's
maybe
attacking the Thunderbolts at the
yeah.
end of the
That
trailer.
could be the way they
So
cut it though.
that's
You know.
true. That's true. Or no,
Um.
maybe he wasn't attacking them. I think he was attacking the tank that was attacking them.
Yeah, we'll see. But
Interesting.
seems yeah, we'll see.
Also,
I
I
don't
don't know if
know.
you saw this, but apparently Scarlett Johansson's a
Is his
producer.
executive producer? I mean, it makes sense. A lot of the characters that are in this have interacted with her. Like they're kind of Black Widow, like David Harbour's character and what's her name, Yelena Belova, are
Yeah.
both like big Black Widow characters. Bucky is obviously interacted with Black Widow,
Yeah.
so it makes sense.
Taskmaster as well.
Taskmaster as well.
Do you think this was her secret project that she was executive producing?
Apparently, it's some other project that Margaret Qualley is a rumored like the favorite or who they want to get for. It's like the blonde something.
The Blonde Phantom?
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
But
But yeah, it's pretty much the same footage from the leaked Comic-Con trailer.
yeah.
Looks good. I don't really have any complaints, but
Yeah. Honestly, the poster was kind of cool. It was poorly
yeah.
executed, but I like the idea of it.
People were saying it's AI generated, but I highly doubt that.
I mean,
But you never know these days.
I don't know.
Dude, bro, do you think like I feel like there's
What?
no way. There's actually no way. Because
I don't know, dude. I wouldn't
there's
put
no
it
way
past
they
them.
would, bro, you have to realize like
No,
these
you have to remember
people
they may give AI images and they like or be like, okay, these actors like make a photo for the Thunderbolts or whatever, and they just like AI is gonna look through the database of like old Thunderbolts comics and stuff like that, and then just like, or they
Yeah,
could
but
have given them like AI made that idea for the
bro, but here, like, do you think it's easy to get a job at Disney making posters? You probably have to be
no,
talented and smart.
yeah,
So do you think they would really release a poster that has noticeable AI shit on it?
yeah, because it's cheaper than paying an artist.
Dude, I highly doubt
You
that.
put it. You think Disney's gonna? You don't think Disney will cut corners
Not in terms of that. Not when it's something so obvious.
in
But like
quality?
they
Yeah.
have enough money to make
No,
someone
yes, they do, but they just don't want to spend the money. That's why it's like it's wrong. It's because they can obviously afford to pay an artist, but you're just giving it to the job to a computer. And
Dude,
it's
but
like it
that's not,
takes all
all
the
right. First of all,
creativity out of
that's
it.
not even how it works, though. Even if
What?
they gave the job to a computer, quote unquote, they still have
No,
to
it's a
hire
person. Yeah,
someone
someone to put. I understand that. Yeah,
to do it. So I don't
but
think it
think
would
about
be
it.
cheaper.
You'd have a staff of artists. You could have one computer generate all the images.
I don't know. I don't know. Bro, to
Obviously,
me,
I'm not. Yeah,
like,
it's.
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
there's no way that
I'm
was
not
on.
very
I don't think they would be
uneducated.
that stupid, but I guess you never know.
It's not stupid. Like people like. I don't know. I don't know what the public kind of opinion is on AI. We're going a little off topic, but um, I don't know. I feel like it should be like more for like medical stuff. But when they do shit like this, when it like, I'd rather someone actually design a poster than them use AI to generate a
Yeah,
poster.
I don't think it was AI generated. People were saying there were some parts, like I think
Let
Lewis
me see.
Pullman, who's
Honestly,
playing Sentry, they're saying he has 6 fingers.
let me
But
see.
if you like look at it, it's actually 5. It's just like a weird angle. But bro, do
Maybe.
you really think they'd release a trailer where someone has or release a poster where someone has 6 fingers?
They did
Like
it
they
with
would
Deadpool and
obviously.
Wolverine.
That
They had
wasn't
one.
actually Marvel. That was like Marvel India or something. It was like a
Oh,
different account.
let me look. Hold on. I feel like I'm usually pretty good at spotting out AI.
Go look at and if you guys are listening too, look up the Thunderbolts poster.
Yeah.
On the left, look at Lewis Pullman's hand. His fingers. Hold
Let
on.
me see.
Look it up, Joe. And if you're listening along, look this up too so that you're not
It's,
just
sorry, my
listening
phone's
to
bugging
nothing.
out.
I really don't think that it's AI, but I guess I could see it. Like his
No,
how long does it take
he
you?
does have 6 in this.
No, it's not.
You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's
No,
how. That's what I'm. This yeah. It's probably. I think this is AI. Because
no,
look at
but no, but you see like the last digit, that little pinky on the
yeah,
left,
yeah.
that's connected to the finger that's going off the screen. It's the same finger.
No, but it doesn't make sense. Look at
It
like.
is. It is. It is. I'm
So
telling
there's
you.
4.
Look. I'll show you. I'm gonna send you a picture and
Also, wait. I forgot to mention that I
let
kind of
us
like.
know down in the comments.
I kind of like Cap's shield. Not Cap. Cap. U.S. soldier's shield. I like that. Like Captain America's soldiers. Like Captain America's shield's like all kind of looks like perfectly clean and no like scratch marks, and his is all like destroyed.
Yeah, I do enjoy it as well. You know what? Whatever, bro. This is
Yeah, this
get
is we're
into off
wasted.
topic,
Yeah, never. We'll
but
beef about this after.
but
Anyway,
all right.
we'll
You
turn
could,
to the next topic.
yeah, you could talk about this next
Yeah.
trailer. Go ahead.
We got the new Gladiator trailer for
Did you even
Gladiator
watch it?
2. Yeah, I did right
Okay.
before. Yeah. We got like fucking 3 trailer releases today, out of nowhere. But it looks good. I mean, looks. I was telling Matt before. It just looks like a way bigger scale Gladiator. Like this, I feel like it's just gonna blow every action scene in the first one out of the park. It just looks so much bigger. Like the action set with like the fucking baboons and stuff, and then like the water battle. It just looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be great. One
Yeah.
thing that I noticed though in the trailer, and I don't know if this was ever pointed out in the previous trailers or not, or the previous trailer,
What?
is that he is actually, or what's Paul Mescal's name in this? I don't know.
I don't
He's the
know.
son. What the fuck's his name?
Maximus. Oh,
Lucius. He's actually referred to as Maximus's son, like officially.
it wasn't that. I feel like that was always like
It was
known though.
implied from the first movie. If you watch the original Gladiator, they don't actually say
His
that
son,
Maximus is his father, but it's kind of implied. This
but
one, it's like specifically said in this trailer, which I thought was interesting. I mean,
yeah.
we all basically knew it. I'm pretty sure Ridley Scott said it
Yeah.
himself.
I guess for them it's like to get more of the general audience because they remember that from the first movie. So it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
makes sense.
But all right, and then
Yeah,
let's just move on because
yeah.
we wasted a
Okay,
lot
we
of
had a
time
lot
here.
of news this week.
But I
This is pretty big. This next movie news.
yeah, so we've been going back and forth with Hal Jordan casting for the Lantern series in James Gunn's new DCU. So they have
Yeah.
officially cast Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. And if those of you who are not familiar with him, I'm pretty sure he's in one of the Godzilla movies, right?
Yeah, he's in Godzilla versus Kong. He's in Godzilla King of the Monsters. I lied.
And he's not like a big name actor as
Actor.
much as the others
Other
that were on the
names?
list. But to
I
me,
like him.
yeah,
I've seen him in
I think this is the best choice out of any of those names that were listed previously.
that
This
fits the character of Hal Jordan.
Yeah, this makes
Yeah,
the
I
most
agree.
sense to me. But
Um,
I think he's gonna get killed off in the series
yeah, I
because
agree.
for one, it's a low level named actor. And like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not a movie star, you know? He's not,
Yeah,
which I guess, David Cornswell's not a movie star either. But for someone who's like older, that they want to have a more grizzled kind of guy, he's not gonna be this up and
yeah,
coming big name.
yeah,
I feel like he's probably not going to make it past the show. Also, I saw some insiders saying that his deal is only for the show and has no movie. There's
yeah.
no movies involved in the deal. So,
I feel like we're gonna probably get the Justice League animated series roster for their Justice League, so it makes sense for them like to kind of. Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's gonna be killed. It could just say that maybe he has to go off world and do something, and like John Stewart is the Green Lantern for Earth. It doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna be killed. It just means that maybe they probably won't use him for a little bit or something like that, or he could be killed.
yeah.
I actually like this casting. I was a big fan of him from Friday Night Lights. He plays kind of the head coach. And if you want a good reference for what I think his character is going to be like, he also plays the FBI agent in The Wolf of Wall Street. So I feel like he's going to be more in line with that. But we'll
Yeah, I
see.
like him. I mean, I've seen him in a few things randomly, and I
Yeah.
always enjoy his
No, I
performances.
think it's honestly a good casting. He probably got to get like a little in shape. He also was in the running for Cyclops. Not Cyclops. I'm sorry. The hell's his name? Oh my god.
Not
Uh,
Cyborg.
not Cyborg. He is a cyborg though. Cable,
Uh,
which makes sense with the Josh Brolin thing.
mhm.
Kind of like just kind of old cop vibe. But yeah, I like the casting. Um, yeah, I don't know if you. I'll talk about the next one for the
Yeah, you
last
could.
bit.
There's another piece of casting, but I don't really know
Yeah.
much. So
So we got some casting news for One Piece season 2. We have Joe Manganiello, who's probably the biggest star they've got for the One Piece show. I mean, he's not like a major name, but I feel like he's pretty, he's pretty big. He's going to be playing Mr. Zero or Crocodile. And honestly, I like the casting. He was like rumored to be in the running for it. They also cast Robin as well, although her name is I think her name in when you first meet her is Miss All Sunday. Um, I'm not familiar with the actress. Maybe you know her, Matt. Hold on.
I wasn't familiar with her.
Lara Abova. I haven't. Yeah, I've never seen her in anything. I mean, she looks the part, but we'll see. They also gave us our first look at Chopper, which is he's for those who don't know, he's a reindeer essentially, and he looks pretty good. People were nervous with the way he was going to look. It's giving me kind of Detective Pikachu vibes the way they're showing it, which I like. I think the way Pikachu looks in that movie is great. So all promising signs for season 2. I still can't believe that show's like successful.
Yeah, it's
Insane.
actually like apparently good.
Yeah, it is. Our
So
fucking mom watches it. Isn't that crazy?
yeah, that is pretty random, but
Not like we didn't tell her. She just randomly found it and started watching it.
yeah.
But
All right,
yeah,
so yeah, that's all our movie news for the
yeah,
past couple weeks. I guess Joe, you want to bring us into the top 10 for this episode?
yeah. So we're gonna not speed run, but we're gonna be a little bit shorter with the explanations for our lists because we tend to speak a little too long.
Yeah, we
Uh,
ramble for our
yeah.
top 10, so we just kind of want to.
So I'm gonna just like list off my first
And wait, hold
5.
on. Before you go ahead, I just want to
Oh,
say our last top 10, I started posting on, if you don't follow us on TikTok, you could go ahead. I'm getting shit on. on TikTok. One of my top 10s for sci-fi. I got
Listen, man.
the video got like 15,000 views. It's like our biggest TikTok, and mad people are like, "This list is terrible. This is shit." Like all this stuff. Like, come on, man. Like, leave me alone, bro.
It's crazy.
No, but I mean, I guess this is what you put yourself up for criticism when you do stuff like this. But it's just crazy. Like, people don't understand. It literally says my favorite sci-fi, and they're like, "How is Alien not on the list? It's better than all this." Bro, it's what's my favorite. Like, there's no right or wrong list to it. It's literally what I like. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Just these lists are based on our favorites. It's not like what's the best. Because if we ranked like that, we'd probably have similar ass lists, and it wouldn't be as interesting. So keep hating. That's all I'll say. Sorry for cutting you off, Joe, but I just had to say
you're good.
It. Go ahead.
So yeah, I was just gonna go through my I was gonna kind of ramble through my top 5 quick. The first one I had was this Japanese movie called The Garden of Words. It's an animated movie. It's just basically the story is essentially a teacher and a student, and they just talk to each other, and that's the plot of the movie. But it's set in like a rainy kind of Japanese park. It's animated. Really enjoyed it. Number 9, I had The Sadness. This is a Taiwanese kind of zombie film, but it's very, very gory and like over the top. Not a lot of people talk about it. I feel like it's, especially with a lot of our fans, I feel like being into horror, you guys should really watch. It's very slept on. Number 8, I have Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. This was the first Godzilla film I really had fond memories of as a kid. This is where we also meet like Godzillasaurus, which is like the kind of baby Godzilla. Number, what is this? 7? 7. I have, there's a lot of Godzilla movies. Godzilla vs. Destroyer. This is my favorite of the older Godzilla movies. I love Destroyer. You get Burning Godzilla in this. It's like, you kind of get the whole finishing arc of Godzilla. I really loved it. This is going to be kind of controversial. No, I'm sorry. Wrong order. Number 6 is Train to Busan. It's a Korean kind of zombie movie that takes place on a bullet train. It's such a really cool concept. Of course, there might be a U.S. remake. It's like Train to Philadelphia, which we don't even have high-speed trains in the U.S., so I don't know how that movie's going to work. And number 5 is
wait, hold on. Because that was your first 5. So do 10.
No. Oh, what?
Yeah, 10. Yeah, 10, 9, 8.
6.
7, 6. That's 5.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
My bad.
You're good. All right. Yeah, I think this will be a more efficient way just to get through this. But all right, so number 10 for me, I had Godzilla -1. It's the only Godzilla film on this list.
Yeah.
I think it surpassed the original. I know that's crazy to say, but
I agree.
I don't know. I really liked the story. I liked how cool it looked in terms of visual effects, and it was made for what, like 15 mil or something?
Yeah.
Something really small like that. All right, number 9, I had The Piano Teacher, directed by Michael Haneke, who is probably one of my favorite of the directors that do foreign films.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite film of his that's on this list, but it reminded me a lot of Black Swan, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's just kind of like about feeling sexually repressed as an older woman, which obviously doesn't relate to me at all, but I think it's a really great film.
Yeah.
Number 8, I had Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Joe, I think you would actually really enjoy this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a super sensual and romantic movie, but it's one that will kind of tug at your heartstrings. It's just a beautiful film. I think it's probably one of the best romance movies in recent times. Number 7, directed by Alejandro Jodorowsky, I have The Holy Mountain. This is probably one you've heard of, Joe. It's like one of the most insane, unexplainable movies ever made. I can't really say anything about it because I don't fully understand it myself. But it was just a complete experience to go through. So I definitely recommend that one. Number 6, I have Titane, directed by Julia Ducournau. I know I talked about this one when we went through our favorite horror movies of the 2020s. It's another body horror one that's elevated. Like I know you mentioned Joe before that
Yeah,
there aren't many of those,
we
but
appreciate it.
yeah, it's basically about a woman who does things with a car and gets pregnant. And that sounds insane, but
That's on my list because
yeah,
there's
but
another movie that I really like by her.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
It all it all comes together. Just trust. I definitely recommend watching it. But yeah. All right,
yeah,
now we'll go back and forth from 5 to 1.
yeah.
So you can go ahead.
So number five is I feel like a lot of people are gonna have this higher. I have Come and See. Um, Probably the most disturbing war movie I've ever seen. It's not even necessarily the graphicness. It's just like the situations that you see this kid go through and just kind of experiencing the hardships of war. It's unbelievable movie. Oh yeah, now you go, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
just go back and forth for this part. Number 5, I actually had Life is Beautiful, directed by Roberto Benigni. So this and Everything Else That Remains are 5-star movies for me. This is
Yeah.
one of the most heartbreaking and traumatic movies I've ever seen. It's about the Holocaust, and it's about this Italian family and sort of what they go through during those years. For some reason, I remember us watching as a kid. I don't know
Yeah.
why,
My mom showed it to us.
but yeah, it always just stuck with me, and I
Yeah.
just think it's that good. Like I liked it as a kid, but it really is that
Yeah.
good. So
Yeah, honestly, that's pretty a test. That's a statement to the movie because us being that young, having memories of such a dark movie.
yeah,
But anyway, number four, I have Another Round, which is a movie you actually recommended me to watch, and it follows a group of teachers who basically test out this theory of what would happen if you're a little drunk all day. And it's honestly really interesting. It's a fun movie, but it also has a lot of like dark themes, and I really love the ending. And the song at the end is really cool.
yeah. We talked about it on an episode.
Yeah.
If you guys ever wanna check that one out. I have a list on my letterbox that just has every movie we've ever talked about on the podcast, and it also says in the notes like which episode it is.
Yeah.
So feel free to go look at that. It's in my letterbox bio because I don't know off the top of my head um which episode number we talked about that on. But all right. Anyways, number 4 for me, I have Lahane. This is one of the most famous movies of all time, I think, in terms of like cinephile circles.
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of people love Lahane, and it was one that was on my list for a while, and I was like, it's definitely overrated. But when I checked it out, it was that good. It's basically about just like these 3 kids that live in Paris, and I'm not sure what time period it's set in, but there's like a lot of rioting and like civil unrest and things like that.
Hmm.
Just has a lot of commentary about society and like your place in society and growing up. And I don't
Yeah.
know, it stuck with me a lot. I haven't watched it in a while.
Hmm.
I definitely wanna check it out again, but it starred a young Vincent Cassel who I'm a big fan of. He was the instructor in Black Swan. He's, like, the one
Oh,
that I don't know if you've seen Black Swan, right?
no.
Seriously?
Yeah, no.
Bruh.
Dude,
But
I work. I went for 2 jobs. It's.
alright.
I'm trying, man. Listen,
No,
it's tough.
I got you, but I'll definitely have to recommend that one day.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm a big Aronofsky fan, so I've been.
yeah. But no, Lahane, I think you would really enjoy. And also, I could be mispronouncing that very badly, so
Yeah,
if I
that's
am,
fine.
I'm sorry. So, go ahead. You could say number 3.
Number three, I have another movie you recommended me to watch, Raw, directed by what is her name? Julia. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. Dacorano. I'm definitely. How do you say it?
I say Decorna. I I
Decor.
I I don't know. I could be butchering it as well.
Um, this movie was fantastic. It follows the story of a vet who's a vet. She's a vet. She's a vegetarian, right, or something. When she first gets there,
Yeah.
and she accidentally has meat one day, and it's just like kind of discovering her love of meat. But there's like way more to it, and it was really good, really disturbing, and the like kind of I don't really consider it body horror, but like I guess like gore scenes are great.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's spoiler. It's on my list somewhere,
yeah,
or is it?
nah.
We'll
I mean,
find out.
I hope you're gonna get flamed again on TikTok if you don't have it.
Yeah. All right, number 3, I have a film that you spoke about, and that's Come and See.
Yeah.
We also did an episode about this one
I
on the
know. I forgot to
podcast.
mention that.
Um, but yeah, it's basically about the brutality of war, and it shows kind of what war could do to even the most innocent person, literally a kid. And what he goes through in this movie is like, even just in the actor's facial expressions, is just like completely horrific.
Yeah.
It is one of the most disturbing films that I've ever seen, and I
Yeah.
love anti-war movies, so
This is
it's
the
like a
biggest anti-war movie
yeah,
probably
it's
ever made.
probably so. Yeah, you spoke about it already, so I don't.
No, yeah, that's fair. All right, number 2. I have this was on your list as well. Godzilla -1. I know this might be a hot take. Also, I mentioned this before, I'm not very versed with international films. Most of my films on here are Godzilla films, but I'm trying to get better at that. So if any of you guys have any international films that you recommend, please feel free to comment on, or reach out. But anyway, back Godzilla -1. I agree with Matt. I think it's the best Godzilla film, just because like you actually invested in the characters, and all the Godzilla stuff is great, but you actually having investment in the human characters is something I don't think I could ever say about a Godzilla movie until this one. Um, and like you said, made for $15 million. The CGI is fantastic. There's some shots in that movie that I dead ass thought they had like they built like some type of prop or something in it, but everything was CGI. Like specifically, there's a scene of Godzilla swimming in the water, and his mouth's open, and like kind of the oil thing that they drop go into his mouth. Like I thought that was just like maybe a small model of a mouth. It was CGI. It looked real. I don't know if you know the shot I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. The whole thing is insanely impressive.
Yeah, yeah. I'm very excited for what he's gonna do next. I don't know what. I hope something.
Something
He
good.
said he wanted to do a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I'd
There's
rather
like
him just
20.
do another Godzilla
But
movie.
I feel like every year it's the same shit. Oh, the Star Wars movie's gonna come out, then it's like, oh, it's delayed inevitably. This and that. I think the other day they
Yeah.
said the Ray movie is now delayed indefinitely.
Indefinitely? Damn.
Yeah,
I'm one of the few Ray stands. I actually like Ray. I want to see like more of. Well, it's
no,
more just I like Daisy Ridley more.
I like Ray too. I'm just saying, like they
I
don't know what the
think
fuck they're
like
doing.
no, yeah, that's the problem. But yeah,
All right,
I was gonna get to 2.
yeah. So for number 2, I had another Michael Haneke, and that's Funny Games. It's another film we also talked about
Yeah.
on the podcast, and it is just a completely desolate and I don't even what's
Yeah,
the
it's
word, bro?
such a
I'm blanking. What's the word when
what
there's like no hope at all? Hopeless. Oh my god,
hopeless
I'm an idiot.
docile.
Uh, no, hopeless. I'm such an idiot. Sorry. It's
No,
just a completely hopeless movie. And it's just cruel. And I like
yeah,
how, which I know I'm saying these things, and it's also like my number 2 favorite ever of foreign language films. But I just like that getting to see that feeling on screen, and it's kind of like making fun of the audience as it shows it to you. It's like, really, you like this? Like, you
yeah,
like this? The fourth wall break in this movie genuinely gave me chills the first time that it happened. And if you haven't seen it, I won't say any more
well,
than
yeah,
that. But this is a movie basically criticizing violence in movies while also being a violent
violent.
movie
Yeah,
itself. I just think it's so smart. I think it's well directed. It's entertaining
yeah.
and it's haunting. It's a great
Honestly,
movie.
I know this is gonna sound crazy, but not common. Speak No Evil had a little bit of funny games vibes in some of the scenes.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely like home invasion esque
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah.
Although I guess it would be like a reverse home
Reverse
invasion.
home invasion. Yeah. But yeah, now my number 1. Matt mentioned it before, but uh, Life is Beautiful is my favorite foreign language film. it's just such a powerful movie. It's one of the only films, like I said, I only have 13 films I've given 5 stars. This is one of them. It's just such a powerful message. I've had memories of it since I was a kid. I mean, you pretty much summed it up. The performances are great. The guy who's the lead, he wrote and directed it as well, I believe, right?
Yeah, Roberto
Yeah.
Benigni. His
Venom,
name is.
yeah. Um, it
Yeah,
won
just
Best
like
Picture too, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
just how happy and
The
like charming his
he is for
character
his kid,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, for his kid, it's just such a great message.
Yeah.
But
Um,
all right,
yeah.
so my favorite foreign language film of all time is Raw, directed by Julia Ducournau. This is a personal one for me. Listen, I know people
No,
are gonna get
it's
tight
I think
because
that's a fair pick. I don't think that's like
we don't have Parasite on our list, either of us.
yeah, yeah.
And that is probably that's like the only foreign language film to win Best Picture. But
Well, no,
sorry.
Life is Beautiful. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Or it's one of the only, or it's the first like Korean film or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Back to what I was saying. So
I
this
saw
is
like we saw the Walmart version. What do we see? The Handmaid, whatever.
oh yeah, The Handmaiden.
Yeah,
But no, I've seen Parasite. I've seen Parasite.
I
But it just
haven't.
didn't make my list.
Really?
Neither did Memories of Murder. They're both Bong Joon-ho, both like just on the outskirts. But yeah, anyways, Raw it's a movie that I saw when I was sort of first getting into film and first kind of figuring out what I liked. And I knew I liked horror, but I wasn't really into foreign language films at all. But I
Yeah,
was like, okay, this seems interesting to me. It's in French. I'll give it a shot. And it really, really resonated with me after watching it. Those
yeah.
scenes that you mentioned of like how grotesque it can be, there's one particular scene where it's like her first human consumption. She eats her sister's finger. It
Oh yeah,
actually made me sick to my stomach. I almost like threw up watching it. And it was like the first time I watched a movie and I felt like a visceral reaction like that.
yeah,
And it made me feel something that intense. I just
yeah,
think the movie's so well made. The body horror looks great and it also fits the narrative of the movie.
yeah.
And I think there's great performances as well. I think that Julia is one of my favorite directors working today, even though she only has two
Two films. Yeah,
feature films. It just shows
yeah.
like how impressive of a director she is. Imagine this being your directorial debut. It's
That's
crazy.
like what's her name? The director of Substance. That was her second feature film.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
that
wild.
honestly, they're very similar. They like give me similar vibes.
Yeah, but
But yeah,
love Raw. Sorry if you
what's her
guys will
next
hate my.
project?
It has a name. Let me look on
Is it
Letterboxd.
Alpha?
Yeah, Alpha. It's called
What- Is there
Plot
anything you know
Under
about her?
Wraps. She also has a TV show in collaboration with A24, but
Oh really?
I've heard about that, but I've never like heard anything else
Yeah,
past
I don't
that.
know the people in it. I never heard of. One of them is a girl from Extraction.
Yeah, she's like the main girl in Extraction. I don't know if you've seen Extraction or
No,
not,
but
but
I mean, excited.
oh, the other dude in it is the villain of Madam Web.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Apparently he's actually a good actor and he's like in good shit, but he was just terrible in that.
Really? What else is he in? Says he was in Napoleon.
I don't really remember him in that.
He plays like he's like one of the random politicians in like that first scene.
Oh,
But yeah,
all right. So that was a good choice of a list.
yeah,
I enjoyed doing that.
yeah. That's a good list.
So
If this is just something quick, we forgot to mention. We just wanted to briefly talk about the Penguin and Agatha because they both actually released this week. Matt, I know you saw both episodes of Agatha. I only got a chance to watch the first one, but honestly, it's pretty good so far.
yeah, this was a show that I had little to no
Yeah,
interest in
yeah,
going in. I was kind of like, okay, I'll watch it because it's Marvel and I'll just keep up with the storyline, but I really don't want to. But I actually really enjoyed the first two episodes. I'm not
yeah,
looking forward to like the discourse on Twitter as the season goes along because people are just idiots and
yeah.
they love just
Just
getting
hating
mad
on
at
women
anything.
and stuff. Yeah,
But dude, it's funny because there's a scene in Agatha, I think it's in the first episode where like Catherine Hahn is naked and like you see her ass or something. But it's
Yeah,
like kinda it's not out of frame, but it's like going towards the back. It's not really
yeah. But
prevalent
it's
at
not
all.
like played for sexual. It's just
Yeah,
played for
no,
like,
no.
yeah,
But and people were on Twitter like, "Really, Marvel? Like, you're gonna show this and that." Then the Penguin has a scene where like Colin Farrell's
that was
Penguin is
thing.
his grotesque body is like naked and just sitting
Yeah.
on screen, and no one said a
Well,
single thing about it.
to be fair, I'm not that I'm one to defend people like that, but the Penguins TVMA.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just
But
saying.
no, but a perfect example would be like Deadpool. Like they had no problem with Wolverine having like his fucking shirt ripped off. Completely fine with that. But then like there's a little frame of someone's ass in the background and like people flip out.
Yeah, people just find shit to get mad at.
Yeah.
But the show itself, I mean,
It
I
definitely
actually
feels
like
I
it.
feel like it feels tonally different than a lot of the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the first episode felt like WandaVision, where it kind of seemed
Yeah.
like a parody of a different show in itself, and I
It
like
was
that.
yeah.
The second one seemed more traditional, like what the show actually will be.
I
So,
know there's a scene of them singing that people were flipping out about. I haven't seen it. It's apparently in the second episode.
yeah, that
But it's
scene,
like it's also like witches are like known. I don't know. Isn't that kind of associated with witches like casting
yeah,
spells and stuff? You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I think that the scene drags a little bit too long, but
I haven't seen it, so I can't. You know,
I think they're singing for just like a little bit too long. But I
yeah,
wasn't mad at that they were singing. So,
yeah.
but yeah, overall, I like it.
Solid. And then now we'll talk about the Penguin. I actually like the Penguin a lot more, in my opinion. Not that to discredit Agatha, but I just am way more invested in the story of the Penguin than I am with Wanda. I mean, no, of Agatha. Colin Farrell is just great in this. You just feel like he's having so much fun in the role. Like he's just funny. He's genuinely funny, and he can talk himself out of any situation. That's the biggest thing I took away from the Penguin so far.
Yeah, he's a great character.
Yeah, and I
I
was
like,
afraid. Oh,
yeah,
sorry, you go.
no, no, I like the first episode a lot. I think
Yeah,
that a lot happens to kind of pull you in, where you're like, okay, what's happening has consequences in Gotham and in like the Batman's world. Where I
yeah,
feel like it would be easy to just like have this side story with Penguin where like nothing meaningful really happens and it's just kind of there to
yeah.
be there. So,
Like my biggest fear going into this was like, okay, like why do we need a Penguin show? Like, why is this gonna feel justified? And so far, it does. It sets up a pretty interesting premise about what's gonna happen. I have a weird feeling uh, and also shout out to Nando V Movies because this is what he meant. He pointed this out. He thinks that like obviously at the end of this, I think that the Penguin would be kind of like on top of the crime underworld, I guess, when we go into the Batman 2. But people were saying, how would you feel if the Penguin ran for mayor?
mm,
Kind of like a Kingpin Gotham situation.
is there a need for a mayor?
Yeah, there's the mayoral election in Gotham. Remember?
But I
There's
thought
like
that girl was reelected, the black lady.
no, I don't think they didn't have an election yet. The last like night, the night that thing happens is like at a rally for her.
Oh, yes, sorry. You're right. I mean, I don't
Because
know.
at the end of the
Does the
Penguin,
public like him though?
they don't even know who he is. But he could just show up and be like this kind of. He's like a nobody. He's like a random criminal from Gotham. But if he becomes the head of like the whole criminal underworld, he's gonna obviously be wealthy and kind of just be like a businessman.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
That would be interesting. It would be an interesting take. Also, I forgot the actress's name, but the woman who plays uh, Carmine Falcone's daughter is also really well. She's I never heard of her before. She's great in this. And it's kind of
Yeah,
funny. She's also Catwoman's stepsister, if you think about it, technically.
yeah, that's true. I liked her. I thought
Yeah,
she was good. She's very villainous in a way I
yeah,
didn't expect.
yeah.
So,
But I've more invested in the Penguin. I just feel like there's because know still so little about like the kind of Gotham that we're in and like what's gonna happen. We know that movie's gonna be set in the winter, but beyond that, that's like all we really know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, I think
Anyway,
we can move on now.
yeah.
So now it's time to talk about the movie that I recommended 2 weeks ago, and that is Her, directed by Spike Jonze. This is a film that both of us have seen already.
Did we talk? I
But
think we talked about it once.
no, I don't
Oh, we
think
didn't.
so. No.
But
Yeah, I thought we might have, but I double checked on like my lists and we did not. Uh
oh,
anyways, I'll give a little rundown of the synopsis really quick.
yeah,
Okay. So, in the not so distant future, Theodore, a lonely writer, purchases a newly developed operating system designed to meet the user's every need. To Theodore's surprise, a romantic relationship develops between him and his operating system. This unconventional love story blends science fiction and romance in a sweet tale that explores the nature of love and the ways that technology isolates and connects us all. So I know before I really was into film that much, and like before I knew much about what this movie was, I kind of just thought it was like, oh, a guy like fucks his computer, haha, whatever. I don't know if you were under that same assumption, Joe.
uh, I mean, because you told me about the movie, no. But if I would have just heard about it with no prior knowledge, I'd probably be like, oh, it's just. I would thought it was a comedy or something.
Yeah. But no, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's beautiful in so many ways, both visually.
Really, yeah.
I think that the shot selection, however, the color grading, just everything just looks so amazing. This
Yeah.
futuristic Los Angeles.
Where
I
was
just,
it? Oh, actually, I wanted to ask you, where was it filmed? I feel
I
like
don't
it's got to
know.
be a city in China. I don't know why.
Yeah, that definitely was the vibe that it was giving off.
Let me see.
I know it takes place in a futuristic Los Angeles, but
I feel like it's gonna be Shanghai. Yeah, Shanghai.
yeah,
Shanghai and LA.
it's interesting.
Damn, I'm geographically skilled. Anyway,
Yeah, but Theodore basically, the film starts and he kind of is just getting out of a relationship. He's going through a divorce with his wife. They're separated, but he hasn't like signed the papers yet, but they're not together. And he basically gets into this relationship with this version of Siri. Basically, it's like a new version of Siri that was created, and he, you know, gets into a relationship with it. And it's kind of crazy how this movie came out in 2013, but we're seeing like AI companions starting to pop up now and things like that.
yeah,
So we're not that far off from something
no.
like this. But
Um, I think it's also incredibly ambitious for a movie that came out in 2014. Like, we weren't even thinking about AI. I mean, like the general public, like that wasn't even a thought. I feel like it's so common in movies now. The topic of AI,
yeah,
you know,
100%. Yeah, I agree with you.
and even just the idea of having a relationship with a like like a I mean, for to be frank, a computer is like such an ambitious topic to talk about because it takes it seriously. It's not like it's just thrown aside like a joke. Their
Yeah,
relationship is real in the movie.
yeah, it genuinely makes you ponder of like, should the relationship
Should
be
be,
considered real or not?
yeah.
Because, and this I think also goes back into how good of a performance Scarlett Johansson
Amazing,
gives.
yeah. I didn't realize on this because like the first time I watched this, I wasn't as versed with movies, but she's phenomenal in this.
Yeah, her voice acting is it's unreal. I think
Yeah,
she should have got an Oscar nomination,
yeah.
definitely.
I
But
I, I didn't
she
notice it the
makes
first time.
yeah, she really makes you believe in her character. Like
Yeah, she's
Samantha
genuine,
feels like a
like a real
real
person. Yeah,
partner. She feels like a real partner to him, and he really feels that.
yeah,
And that's why, there's when he tells his ex-wife, she kind of throws it back in his face and is like, "Oh, you're too scared of real love, so you have to go. You can only,
yeah.
be with someone who is fake, pretty
But
much."
even like I just feel like his character could be very relatable. Joaquin Phoenix, like even like when
Definitely
his the way he deals with like his I can't speak
jealousness.
jealousness from his ex-wife, but also from Samantha. Like when Samantha mentions that she was like reading the books with that other guy, like you can see him kind of process as he's having the conversation. You could see this is internally bothering him. And like I'm sure me and you have been in situations when you speak to someone and they say something that obviously bothers you, and you just kind of have to pretend like it doesn't, continue the conversation.
Yeah, and it's funny how, us as humans, we could sort of see when someone becomes hesitant
Yeah,
and you could tell they get kinda cold, but because she's an AI, she points it out. She's like, "Wait, I can tell that you had hesitation in your voice there,"
yeah,
and things like that. So I just thought that aspect of it was kind of interesting.
yeah.
But yeah, if you guys listen to the podcast, you know that Joaquin Phoenix is my favorite actor of all time. This, I think, is his best role that he's ever
Yeah, I
done.
was gonna say that. I like because I always thought Joker was, but honestly, I think he's better in this.
Like, just the way that he displays loneliness,
Yeah.
the fear of being rejected, um,
Even
just
even that scene of when he thinks he loses Samantha, of like him like kind of freaking out. I don't like it's just like another relatable experience of like you ever like losing contact with someone and you freak out and you don't know where they are.
yeah,
And I feel like he's able to showcase these emotions so well in this movie. Would for a character that's not even on screen. He's
I
busy
know.
acting with himself the
Yeah,
entire movie.
yeah, it's crazy. I know there's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff behind the scenes where I think they had someone else originally to do the voice and then put in
Really?
Scarlett Johansson later.
I'm kind of interested who.
So I forget who it was. I was gonna look it up, I just forgot. Um, but yeah, this is something that I mentioned when we listed our top 10 sci-fi films, because this was number 2 for me on that list. That was getting a shit ton of hate on
This is
TikTok,
no,
but
but this is
but,
definitely
it
sci-fi.
deserves. No, yeah, but and it's also that good. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
no.
people were just hype because they probably
Thought
people
more
pro
ex-
yeah,
I know
people who
what you
like
mean.
Star Wars and Star Trek probably wouldn't enjoy a movie like this.
Yeah.
But,
No, I
yeah,
agree
this is
with
some
you.
anyways, this is something that I was talking about was, like, just the idea of, long distance relationships. Like, it's a relationship through the phone. You're talking to your phone. Yes, it's a real person on the other end. How is that any different from Samantha?
Yeah.
It's similar, at least. And even COVID, people couldn't see each other.
Yeah.
People had to speak to each other through the phone,
With the
have
phone, yeah.
relationships through the phone. And I like how it shows how certain people react to him having Samantha as his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like,
That's a good point.
his wife kinda threw it back in his face, but, Chris Pratt, his character was kinda like there's a scene where Chris Pratt's like, "Oh, you should go on a double date with us," and then Theodore's like, "Oh, I'm dating an OS," and Chris Pratt's like, "Cool, what should we do?" Like, he just it doesn't
Yeah.
matter to him, you know?
Yeah. He was great
I
in this too.
Yeah, he has only, like, a couple scenes, but he's really
Yeah.
good in this.
Yeah.
Amy Adams was really good as
Really good,
well.
yeah. Olivia
Um,
Wilde was good too for the couple scenes she was in.
yeah,
One thing I did want to point out that I noticed on this, there's a lot of like weird, not a lot. There's a couple like weird, I feel like out of place sexual jokes in the movie. I noticed a couple times.
like what?
Like like they're on the beach and like they're just randomly like talking and she's like, "Oh, imagine if people got like fucked in their
Their armpit?
armpits." And I was like, "That was weird." Like it's just it felt like very out of place. There was another one
Yeah.
too.
Nah, yeah, that's true. I feel like that
Um
was just her kind
no,
of.
exploring. No, I
Yeah.
understand what they were going for. It just felt like weird to me, but that's just a small nitpick.
No, that's definitely a fair point.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie really understands, like, the intricacies of love and of being in a
Yeah.
relationship,
Relationship. Yeah.
sort of, getting over someone, knowing, just being able to let go.
Yeah.
Like, that ending scene. The ending scene is my favorite scene,
Beautiful. Yeah.
and it's one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever. When he reads the letter to his
Yeah.
ex-wife, kind of finally telling her, like, "You'll always be a part of me, but, like, it's time for me
Time
to
to learn to
to
let
let
go.
go. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the pain that we caused each other."
I'll
The
always love
music,
you.
and then he
Yeah.
goes up to the
The
roof with
roof.
Amy Adams' character, and just that skyline, them
Yeah.
sitting, and she leans her head on his shoulder. Such a
Such a
great
beautiful
scene.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So this director, what else has he done?
it's
Because honestly, I don't
interesting
think I've
though,
ever
because
seen anything
he
besides this
has
from him.
I'm pretty sure this is the most recent movie he's done.
Oh wow. So he hasn't
He's
made a movie in like 10 years.
he's done Being John Malkovich, and he's done Adaptation. I've seen Being John Malkovich, I really like that. But what you might know him from is he's a writer, and he's, like, in a bunch of the Jackass movies.
Really?
Yeah, which is
That's
like
crazy.
the weirdest, craziest
Yeah.
connection. But he's a genius, so I guess, like, he writes up all their jokes.
Oh, he did
But
Where the Wild Things Are.
oh, yeah, yeah. I guess that was his most recent.
The Beastie
But
Boys.
it's
Oh no, the
interesting.
Beastie Boys story, 2022. I mean
Oh,
2020.
is that a documentary?
Uh, Probably because it doesn't look like it's like I don't know any of the actors in it. It looks like it's
Yeah.
just
So, and also, this is, like, one of my favorite pieces of film trivia is that so this guy, Spike Jonze, he was at least dating or if not married to Sofia Coppola, who is Francis Ford
Francis Ford
Coppola's
Coppola's
daughter.
daughter, right? Yeah.
And when they split up, she made the movie Lost in Translation, which I'm not sure if you know.
That's about with Scarlett Johansson when she's in Japan, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen it, but it's another one
So
that people told me to
I'm
watch.
yeah, I'm a big fan of that movie. Uh, so she made that, and then he made this, and each is about their breakup from
Pick
each
up.
other. And it's
Wow.
kind of interesting to see like both
Two different
perspectives.
perspectives.
And her movie came out first. Now, one thing that I didn't even realize this, I saw a comment saying this. I was watching like a YouTube video about the movie.
Yeah.
There's a famous scene in Lost in Translation where like ScarJo kind of rests her head on Bill Murray's shoulder,
Hmm.
and people were saying that the ending scene where Theodore's reading the letter to his ex-wife, it's actually basically Spike Jonze reading the letter to Sofia
So
Coppola,
yeah,
and that last final shot where Amy Adams kinda rests her shoulder on Joaquin Phoenix is, like,
it's
basically
like
him acknowledging Lost in
a
Translation
translation.
and just,
I
like
like that. I like that theory.
yeah, I don't know. That's just, like, such an interesting piece of, like, behind the scenes that kinda makes you look at the movies differently. Just the fact
Yeah.
that they both left the breakup and, like, made their own films. But, yeah,
Adaptation's good. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen Being John Malkovich.
Nicolas Cage is in it.
Yeah, he's apparently really good in that.
Mm. But yeah, I don't know if you wanna I mean, my favorite scene is the honestly, I like the scene when he thinks he loses her and he's running through the streets. I
Yeah.
really like that scene. I know it's a little weird, but
I also wanna mention the music too.
yeah, the music's fantastic.
I was a big fan of both the
Yeah.
score and I liked,
When she wrote the songs.
yeah, the piano that she
Yeah,
does and that song that she sings where he's, like, strumming the ukulele.
yeah. There's a scene
Um,
where, like, they're on the beach, and there's, like, this really, like, beautiful kind of piano medley, and she's like, "Oh, I wrote this song to be" to what is it? "I wrote this song
she's basically
to"
saying since she's an AI, she can't actually be in a picture and she can't take a picture of them. So the song is supposed to represent that moment
I
instead
mean,
of a
what it
picture.
felt
Because
like, yeah.
yeah, and that was cool, and you see, like,
Yeah,
as the movie goes on, the piano that she writes gets, like, more intricate and complex, which
yeah,
I'm assuming was on purpose,
yeah.
but I just think
Um,
I don't know, this is, like, a near perfect film for me.
yeah,
I'm such a big
it's
fan of it.
no, it really is, and I feel like I definitely appreciate it more now than when I watched it the first time. Because I feel like I pick up on a lot of the things that I didn't notice, like the score and the way it was shot, and how like I really like the city setting and stuff. Those are
Yeah,
things
yeah,
kind of like throwing it back, like Samantha, where my she kind of evolves, like my taste in movies kind of evolves as I get for watch more
yeah,
and more.
yeah, and, yeah, it's definitely a film that if you watch it at different points in your life, you'll kinda see different things
Yeah,
in it, like, in terms of, relationships and seeing different perspectives on love, and I don't know. I'm getting, like, sappy and shit, but
no, yeah, it's
it's
definitely I think a movie everybody should watch once in their lifetime.
yeah,
I feel like a
um,
lot of people can relate to it.
yeah, but
But
I
yeah,
guess I'll favorite character? I gotta go with Theodore.
I'm gonna go with Samantha.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're both it's like 1A, 1B.
Yeah. I don't know, I
Um,
see myself a lot in Joaquin Phoenix's character.
yeah.
Just like that like, the way he approaches relationships with, like, this fear. I don't know.
No, I
I
mean,
feel
yeah,
like
he's
it's
very
something that
relatable. A lot of
yeah,
people go into relationships with fear from previous relationships. It's like a very real kind of human experience that I feel like a lot of people go through,
yeah.
you know?
Yep.
And it's, I feel like not a lot of people talk about that. That's like your kind of first relationship after being like splitting from someone, and you have that kind of dread and fear of like being hurt again. And the
Hmm.
movie covers it really well.
Yeah. And I like how Samantha is just used as like a vehicle for him to get
Him,
over
yeah,
his previous relationship. Yeah, one
yeah,
other thing before I don't know if you wanted to talk about Samantha really quick actually, and then I'll bring up this last part.
yeah.
Joe? Oh,
Yeah. I mean, I just like the voice. The voice is just fantastic, and she's so believable, and she honestly gets you to really be invested in their relationship without having even herself on screen, which is a testament to her performance.
yeah, definitely. I wanted to talk about again, back to that final scene, there's just so
Yeah,
many layers to it. So it's kinda like Samantha leaves, and it's him putting down technology, and he goes to Amy Adams, knocks on her door, and is like, "Do you wanna come up on the roof with me?" And it's like his last scene, not being stuck behind a computer, but actually with another human and enjoying that moment just on
yeah,
the roof. It's like a freeing moment for him almost, in both literally and metaphorically.
yeah.
But
For her as well, because she loses. She was not. I don't think in a relationship, but had like a friendship with
yeah, and
an
she was
operating
also
system.
just getting out of a marriage too,
Yeah,
because her husband left and he like randomly became a monk.
yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, but
But yeah, I don't know if you want to get to ratings.
yeah, before I get teary-eyed,
Yeah.
get to ratings. Yeah, this is a 5-star movie for me. It's near perfect, 10 out of 10. Just the way that this film understands love and relationships more than I can put into words, it's just shown to me on the
Yeah.
screen, and it was just a really important film to me from the first time I watched it even till now, like, whatever, the 4th or 5th time I watched it.
Yeah.
So,
Mm. I gave it a 4.5, which was actually what I initially gave it when I first watched it. But I just like Matt said, for me, it's an almost nearly perfect film. Like, there's so much you can talk about this from like the music, the way it was shot, the performances. Little nitpicks here and there that I have problems with, but I mean, it's you know, I mean, you summed it up, like
yeah.
but
Alright, well, I'm glad we talked about that.
yeah.
That's one of the many five-star movies that we've discussed on here. I have a
How
couple
many
more that
how
we
many
gotta
five
get
star
to.
movies do you have?
Let me check real quick. People actually ask me this too sometimes, so here's your answer. So I've seen 1,642 films, and I currently have drum roll, hold on, 31 5 stars. So it's an elite club.
I have
It's an
even
elite
less because
club.
I have like I think 450 something watched. Let me look right now. Hold on.
Yeah, while you do that, I'm gonna pull up
Some
some questions
questions.
that we
Yeah.
got. We got a couple for the Q&A.
How do I go to? Oh, here. Okay, so I'm at 445 right now, and I have 13 5 stars.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're
Oh,
both
good.
kinda strict in
Yeah.
terms of 5 stars. It's gotta really be, like, one of my favorites to
Yeah.
make it
I
up
only
there.
give out maybe like one or two a year. I feel like
Yeah, I have one this year, Dune Part 2,
I have two,
but
Dune and this.
yeah,
Last year I had Poor Things and Past Lives.
yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's get to some questions. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for sending in your questions. We usually put up Instagram question polls for people to send in their questions, but you don't have to send them on a poll if you wanna just ask us something for us to talk about on the episode. Just send us a DM, whatever, and we'll
Yeah.
answer your questions. So, all right, this is from at Joel or Joel, I'm not sure, underscore Villareal36 on Instagram. He asks, what is an underrated horror film? One
Um.
that comes to mind for me is actually, it's kind of random, but Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth.
Oh, that's one with like
I know, I feel like
it's in
you
his
didn't really
bedroom and
like it.
stuff.
You
No,
didn't
I
really
didn't
like
like
it,
it.
right?
That's the one where he
Because
like He goes to
That's
the
the one.
club or the church or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
It's the guy like in the club, and he has like that statue in his room. But
Yes.
that's like full campy, goofy slasher mixed with
Yeah.
Hellraiser. Because the other
Yeah.
films really aren't like that.
No.
Um, yeah, I think that movie's underrated. People hate on it, but that club scene with Pinhead and the other Cenobites just like fucking up all the people in the club. That's like one
Yeah,
of my
that was kind
favorite
of cool.
moments from the
Yeah.
Hellraiser franchise. So I feel like that
Um.
movie gets some hate for no
Yeah.
reason. But
I'm gonna actually bring back the movie I was mentioning before, The Sadness. There's something about how brutal and insane the zombies are in this movie. They're all like are smiling, and it's just like so vicious and honestly disturbing. And no one really talks about this movie, especially like I said before. A lot of our fans are big horror fans. Please give this a watch.
yeah, I haven't even watched it. So
Just look up some of the gore scenes, and you'll see.
no, I've heard of it. But
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Thank you for the question.
yeah.
Now from at Justin's Movie Reviews on Instagram. Denis Villeneuve or Christopher Nolan? It's Denis.
Denis, yeah.
Yeah. I
I
love
don't know.
Nolan.
Nah, me too,
Oppenheimer
dude.
is a 5-star, but Denis has just been way more consistent.
I
And I
agree.
just feel like his work is just better
Better.
overall. So,
Yeah.
all right.
You
Thanks for the
think?
question.
I know this is a big question going around now. Him or James Cameron for sci-fi?
I would choose Denis. I
It's
mean,
it's close.
it's tough.
It could be
It's tough
when it's all said and done.
because you have Terminator, Avatar,
Avatar, Alien.
Aliens. Yeah, it's I
Um,
don't know. But Denis, you
I don't
have
know.
Arrival,
My
Blade
rival,
Runner,
Blade
Dune.
Runner, Dune. Do you think? I feel like eventually he's gonna do like a Star Wars thing for some reason. I
Maybe.
think he said he was a Star Wars fan. I mean, everybody is, but
Yeah. We'll see.
yeah,
All right. Thank you for the question.
yeah, that's a good question.
This one's from at Anton_Kino Love on Instagram. What's your favorite movie with Scarlett Johansson? I feel like
Mm,
the well, obviously her, but she's not really like in it per se.
yeah.
She gives a great performance. Um, but I think my favorite's probably Marriage Story, and then slightly under that would be Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, I forgot about Jojo Rabbit. Yeah, it might be that for me. I
Yeah,
mean,
she's
yeah,
my second favorite actress of all time. So I
Marriage
think
Story is really good as well. I mean, she's also great in Don John. I don't know if you've seen that.
no, I haven't.
Um, and then also Black Widow. She's really memorable as Black Widow too.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Yeah. Thank you
yeah,
for the question.
good question.
This last one, I'll just shout it out, but we already answered it before from at JD_Toda on Instagram, and he's referring to The Substance. He says, "What was that ending? Like I loved it, but question mark, question mark, question mark. It was a crazy ending,
It was a crazy, yeah. It's
but I
not for
kind of gave
everybody.
my explanation of what I thought it meant before, of going overboard with the making yourself look young,
Yeah.
and then you turn to that.
It almost gave me Frankenstein vibes, especially when they were all like shouting monster,
Yeah, definitely, like
like
them chasing him up to
chasing
the
her, all
or
attacking her and stuff.
yeah. When I said him, I was referring to Frankenstein. Like when they
Yeah.
chase him back to
Yeah.
the windmill or
The
whatever.
windmill. Yeah.
But
But yeah.
yeah, thank you guys for the questions. Like I
Yeah.
said, if you want to ask us some questions, feel free to send them over. We'll answer them.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, I guess before we wrap it up, I just want to quickly just shout out to our fans. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah. All the
Um,
recent support is amazing.
yeah, we've been getting a lot of new followers on Twitter, Instagram. Our TikTok's doing a little bit better. But we appreciate the people that interact with us and,
Yeah.
whatever, whether it's commenting on our post, sharing our post, whatever. We really appreciate it. So just want to thank everyone.
Thank you guys.
And yeah, I guess I'll recommend the list
Yeah.
for episode 58. I think I just want to do something calm. I'm
Yeah.
thinking our top 10 favorite movies of this century so far. So anything released 2000 or
1000.
later.
Okay. It's fair. All right, so you ready for my recommendation?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, so it's a movie came out in 2023, directed by Wim Wenders. It's called Perfect Days. The story is essentially it's about this character named. So I'll leave the synopsis. Hiromaya is content with his life as a toilet cleaner in Tokyo. Outside of his structured routine, he cherishes music on cassette tapes, books, and taking photos of trees. The unexpected encounters he reflects on finding beauty in the world. It's 4.3 on Letterboxd. It's in the top 250 movies on Letterboxd. I've heard really, really good things about this. Like I said before, I love, when movies take the setting like seriously, and this is set in like urban Tokyo, which I have been, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I've been dying to watch this movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was Oscar nominated last year.
It
But
may have been.
I've heard great things. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it
Apparently, it's
last
just
year.
literally him just driving around Tokyo, like taking pictures and stuff.
Sounds like a fun watch to me.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the picture of the guy. He's a
Yeah, no,
vibe.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. He seems chill.
Yeah, like I get a beer with him or something.
Yeah, I'd get a beer with him.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah. So episode 58, then we'll do Perfect Days, Joker, Folie à Deux.
Shit, damn Joker.
Isn't
Wait,
that it?
what? I thought
Yep.
it's the 11th.
We're seeing it
Oh yeah,
September
we're seeing
30th.
it for.
We're seeing it early.
What time are we seeing it again?
I forget.
7?
I'll check. I think 7.
Okay, good.
And what comes out this week? The Wild Robot, maybe.
Robot, yeah.
I would talk about that. And Wolves.
Yeah.
Wolves.
Oh,
if you
Wolves,
want.
yeah. I do want to watch
Yeah.
Wolves.
So
shout out to Apple for making a $200 million movie and having it in theaters for 1 week.
Yeah, I don't even think it's going to theaters. Is it?
No, I hope. I mean,
I saw that it's not going to theaters at all now.
why?
I don't know.
What the fuck, bro?
I'm pretty sure they pulled it.
It's $200 million. First of all, $100 million went to the director and the first 2 actors. That's kind of insane.
Yeah,
and it's just like
and it's not like it's Avengers. It's Wolves.
Yeah, that's just like a movie about these 2, like, I don't know, not private investigators, like hitmen that have to uncover something. Like, it looks promising, but for $200 million, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
We'll still try to see it, and
yeah.
Maybe we'll briefly mention Transformers 1 if we get a chance to.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna see that either tonight if can't fall asleep, or tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, quick little shout out. I forgot to mention this, but A Different Man we went to go see.
Oh yes, yeah.
I really loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan was great. Adam Pearson, who
was fantastic.
Yeah,
oh my god.
he
was
plays,
really good.
Yeah, he's the guy who has the deformity
on
his face. Who that's basically the plot of the movie. It really revolves around that. He was
great.
He
stole the show. Yeah. Oh my god.
He's right now my choice for best supporting actor at the Oscars. I don't even know if we'll get nominated, but
yeah, he was
fantastic. We saw him and Sebastian Stan in person.
Yeah.
They did a Q&A.
He's actually really funny.
Yeah, he's exactly like his character. He's so charismatic. It was just funny because obviously you don't expect it. You expect someone who has some sort of issue like that to be more collected and reserved, but he's just just didn't give a fuck.
Smiles and positivity.
Yeah. So Different Man was awesome. Definitely go check that out. But yeah, I guess we could wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah, thanks again.
Please follow us on our social medias. Everything should be linked down below. And if you want, give us a like, or maybe give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really helps to push our podcast to the recommended. So yeah, that would be greatly appreciated. But anyways, make sure you go watch Perfect Days and Joker and The Wild Robot before next episode so you could listen to us chat about them. So thank everyone for listening.
Thanks again. See you in 2 weeks.
Peace.
Peace.